Alright guys, welcome back to my channel. How are you all getting on out there? I hope you're keeping well. I had a little bit of a snooze there after work. I was up at about 5 a.m. this morning. Shift was okay at work, but still, I've been a little bit tired, so I had a little bit of a snooze and I'm just after waking up, so bear with me guys. Yeah, and I'm after waking up to very bad news, guys, not regarding Arsenal FC, but regarding Sinead O'Connor. I mean, for those of you who know that I am actually Irish, news coming in that poor Sinead O'Connor has passed away. Completely unrelated to football now, guys, but I mean, if you're Irish, Sinead O'Connor, regardless of what went on with her, she's one of our own, and it's very sad to hear that she has passed away. I mean, an absolute legend on the Irish scene. I mean, absolutely, words fail me to describe this woman. An absolutely wonderful singer, unbelievable voice, one of a kind, could not be touched. Had no equal, in my opinion. Yeah, known for one song, yeah, but she was just an awesome artist, and yeah, a really bad time for Irish fans, for all fans of Sinead O'Connor, but for Irish people in general, it's a bit of a sad one. Yeah. She was one of our own, guys. She was one of our own. That is a very sad thing for me. One of my friends over in Switzerland, he comes on stream regularly. He's an FC Basel fan and an FC Bayern fan. Chris Lee, he just broke the news to me, and it's very sad news indeed about Sinead O'Connor. Yeah, man, I'm not going to dwell on that too much now because, you know, it took on the old heartstrings. But she had a tough run at the end, but she didn't have it easy. But yeah, rest in peace to Sinead anyway. Sad times, guys. Sad times. She was one of our own. All right. Where am I going to go from here? Yeah, guys, I'm going to go as always. Sad news out of Sinead, guys. Sorry about that. As always, I want to thank everybody for your continued support on my channel, your likes, your subscribes, and your comments. I'm going to have somebody coming on in a while, and we're going to talk football and everything else in between, and maybe a little bit about Sinead. And yeah, man, she was one of a kind, man. She was a tough nut, I tell you. Sinead was a tough lady. She was not to be messed with. A bit like Dolores O'Riordan from the Cranberries, they were cut from the same cloth. So it's very sad to hear that she has passed away. But anyway, like I said, guys, thank you to everybody. Thank you to everybody that has supported me. Since I started my channel, I really appreciate it, guys. Yeah, bit knocked back there now by Sinead O'Connor passing away. But anyway, guys, it is what it is. Like I said, one of the lads from Switzerland just texted me there, breaking me the bad news. Fuck, bad news it is, alright. Yeah, Arsenal. I mean, where do we go from here, guys? We got the Barcelona game coming up. That is a big one. I mean, I believe fully 100% we need a striker. Yeah, we need a striker, no doubt. If we don't get a striker, I'd say it's pretty much game over, guys. You know what I mean? I know, guys, just on someone else's channel. It's actually on TJ Warren's channel, guys. Just giving him the big up. Yeah. 1 second, guys. Just don't answer for. Channel. The Wi-Fi is kind of acting up. Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good, Luca, man. As you see, I have the link here in the stream. If you want to come on later or anytime, man, do. I'm going to check out your channel as well. I'm going to check out your stream, man, the one that you sent me, the video you sent me. Give me 1 second, man, and I'll bring Stapes on. And then let me get that going. 1 second, Luca, man. I want to watch your... I want to support Luca, man. So I'm going to big it up here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Yeah, like I said, a bit of bad news there, guys, about Sinead O'Connor. She was... Jesus, guys. She was Irish to the core, man. Really sad that she has passed on. Yeah? I mean, this woman, she had no equal. Yeah, fucking say. Bad news all around, man. Bad news all around. All right, here we go. Let's get into it. Just watching your video there, Luca, man, your recent upload. All right, here we go. I have a guest coming on, guys. I have a guest coming on. Just gonna big him up. Here he is. He's been waiting in the wings patiently as I've been messing about. Here we go, guys. Sorry about that, man. I was just jumping all over the place. I'm good, man. I'm not too bad. I just had a snooze, so I'm just coming back to reality. Oh man, I was very tired there earlier. You know, when you just lie down, man, it's game over. You've had your chips. So I just got up there, brushed the teeth, put a bit of water on my face, and I'm alive. Bad news, man. Bad news. Not football related, guys, but I don't know where you listen, but one of the lads there, one of the boys over in Switzerland, he texted me, the FC Basel fan, Chris. Sinead O'Connor passed away, Stapes.
What, today?
She was some bit of stuff, man, wasn't she? Sinead, by. Oh, man.
Yeah.
I was gutted when I heard, by. I was gutted. She was, oh, man. I know she was a bit of a loose cannon, yeah. I know she ripped up the picture of the Pope and she beat the crap out of someone on the flight from NYC. I know all of that, yeah. She's like bipolar. But I mean, Sinead, by, she was all right, you know. Sinead was one of the best, by. I'm sickened by that now. That's like a real kick into the nuts.
Yeah, it just brings you back to reality, knowing that we've all got our day, haven't we?
Yeah, man. No matter what we're going through, by it would I don't know, knock the stuffing out of me anyway. You know, I tell you a story about her. I didn't meet her, yeah, but you know Shane McGowan, the poet, Fairy Tale of New York, Kirsty McCall.
Oh yeah.
You know Shane McGowan. He only had 3 teeth. He only had 3 teeth in his whole mouth. He could drink any man under the table. Him, Shane McGowan. He's still alive anyway. But he was here in London, you know, and he was hooked on heroin at the time. And he let Sinead O'Connor stay with him because she had no place to stay when she was starting out, in her career. So she was in London with him. He was using back on the gear. So what she actually did was, he was going to OD, he was like just on a path of destruction. He was just going down that road and he wasn't coming back. She actually rang the cops, ratted him out, got him arrested, got him thrown in jail. He was livid. Nuts. Later on, he came out publicly and thanked her for saving his life. Big up, man.
Yeah, because it's the biggest kind of rehab you can have, innit? Because if you're going to go into rehab, you have to admit yourself, don't you? You have to want to stop. But if you get banged up, you got no choice, have you? You know what I mean? And I suppose back then as well, they didn't give you the medicine if you're coming down as well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the methadone. Yeah.
So
they don't hold you by the hand, Stapes. You know what I mean?
No,
It's
that's
cold
right.
turkey, man. But she saved his life, and he thanked her. That big up Sinead, man. That was bad news, sad news there about her, boy. She was all right. Just known for kind of one song, but she was a good bit of stuff. And of course, the thing with the Pope, and then they banned her from America, because she ripped up a picture of the Pope. She got banned from the US. I mean, she was just she was a maverick. You know what I mean?
Yeah, she had that bit of even though her music wasn't, she was a bit rock and roll, weren't she? You know what I mean?
This is
So
water, by the way, guys. I'm not hitting the.
yeah,
As soon as I heard the
street
news,
vodka,
Jesus, I went out to the off license. No, no.
street vodka.
You're like that. Oh shit, Dave's in trouble. Dave is having a public meltdown. That's a chat. I could do it privately, but I'd prefer to do it online. Just have a meltdown. Nah, but that's a sad news those days, man. Seriously, man.
It is, it is. Um, oh, what, you gone? You got Wi-Fi issues again.
We leave it at that. Oi, oi, Savaloy, evening stapes. He's in a very good mood by Tony. Must have got a bit of a
Tony,
kiss
mate.
in it. Tony must have got a bit of a kiss in the cuddle there. How
Was,
bad?
was it West Ham signed a player or something?
That's it. Geez, I tell you, they could actually, we were only talking about it last night. They need to make a couple of moves in the transfer, man. They actually need.
Yeah.
Arsenal aren't exactly, you know.
Is it me or is it you, Dave?
All right, I hope that's better now, guys. I'm after switching from one Wi-Fi to the other because we have Virgin Media. We have like a link downstairs and a link upstairs. Henry Ray
You better
Baker's coming in, guys. Big up Henry Ray, man. How are you getting on? I've been watching your channel, Henry. You know what? My question yesterday, and I don't want to be Henry's a Liverpool fan, yeah, but he's got like a channel about like television and sitcoms and TV programs. He kind of analyzes
Okay.
them and like talks about them as he's watching them. But Henry, I got a question for you, man. I don't know how you do it, by. I think I should do it too. We should all do it. You've got 158 subscribers. I looked at your channel yesterday, yeah, and you had 170 people watching you. No, he had 158 subs, right? Now mind that, but he had 170 people watching. That's like Lee Gunner, you know what I mean? That's like well, not quite, but 170 watching at one time. I was like, what the? I'm free for a while. Yeah, you want to come on talk football? Anyway, guys, the link is in the description, so watch out, Stapes. Anyone could jump on at any time, and it could be like Egal against Jez all over again. I like your jersey, man. That jersey is a nice jersey.
It's the
That's
new one, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a new one, right? I like it's actually nicer. I can see it now in the light, yeah, like the light of day. It's a nice
Yeah, I
one, boy.
remember
I was
I
thinking I get
sent
the
you.
away one, but that's a nice one.
Yeah, I sent you the picture when mine and my son's tops come, didn't I? I WhatsApped you the pictures.
Yeah. Yeah, you did,
I
yeah.
tell you, I didn't pay 80 quid for it. I tell you
But you
now.
but you had it on a curtain rail, and like the curtains were very nice or something. I was more looking at that than the jersey. I know what you were hanging it on. You were hanging it on. So I was like, geez, that's some nice paintwork. I said, that's
Yeah,
a
it was
nice
on the
apartment.
curtain. Yeah,
All right.
yeah.
Henry is going to come on. Let's have a chat. Let's see what's going on. I wasn't expecting there's now so many people coming on, but yeah, let's have a talk, yeah? We can big up his channel as well. I'm just waking up, guys, so bear with me. And Sinead O'Connor passed away, so don't talk to me, lads. Don't talk to me. After this now, I'll be crying myself to sleep. No, not quite, but straight out
What
to the
did
pub
you?
on the corner by for a pint of the black stuff.
Did you have a siesta because the game's on at like 3, 4 o'clock in the morning?
Yeah, that's right, isn't it? I
Yeah.
actually maybe I can actually do a fucking watch along. Nah, I'll be asleep by then. All right, let me bring on Henry anyway. All right, Henry,
Hi,
man, how are
everybody.
you? Are you all right? You good?
Yes, I'm fine, thanks.
Big up Liverpool, man. Welcome to the stream. We're both gooners, yeah, but you're welcome, man. No bother.
Thank you for allowing me on your channel.
Yeah, you're welcome.
Great. I will explain what happened. With my channel, I was doing a stream, and this bloke called John Partridge came on the stream and asked me, was this channel mine? and all these weird questions about me and my channel. And then I answered his questions.
Yeah.
And then he said, okay. So a couple of minutes went past, and he said, well, I will sub to your channel and share. And that's how it all started. He shared my stream with all his followers.
Wow.
So
Yeah, because
it all went crazy. It was like up to 300.
yeah.
And then it sort
Went
of,
up to 300, eh? Wow.
yeah, about 300.
Wow.
So every time he comes in, he shares my stream, and that's how I get all the followers.
You'd never tell him to share mine, would you? If you're,
Well,
if you're talking to him, tell him I'll find.
Each time I start my stream, I say, thank you to everybody who has already subscribed.
Yeah.
And if you are new, please hit that subscribe and the notification bell. But, and like and share. But I get maybe 5 or 6 watching, depending on what stream I'm doing.
Yeah.
But like as soon as John Partridge comes in and starts sharing, it goes wild. And I'm like,
Yeah.
I mean, it's nice because it's only happened twice. Because normally when I do my streaming, I don't get very many likes or shares.
Yeah.
But I mean, I've got almost 160 subscribers at the moment.
Yeah.
I just need one more. But no, I mean, if you'd asked me maybe 5 years ago, would I be having my own channel and I would have 160 subscribers and over 5,000 views, then I would be laughing in your face.
Yeah.
Because I've been only doing this since the end of December.
Wow.
So I've got
Good
over
going,
100,000 watch hours already.
Yeah. That's a lot there.
Because of my content that I'm putting out. Because it's not just football. I do crime drama. I do football. But I do comedy. And I do gay issues as well.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping maybe to start another channel. But like I said, if you'd asked me 5 years ago, would I be doing this? And I would, no chance.
Yeah. You couldn't have foreseen it. And what do you think about? What do you think about Liverpool for the coming season? What are your thoughts on the club? Are you happy with Jurgen Klopp? I see Henderson has just left after 12 years at the club.
Yes.
What are your thoughts about Liverpool and about last season? And what are they going to do something in the new season? How do you feel about it?
Well, we had a horrendous season, in my opinion. We went on a run, but it was way, way too late. Like the last 7 or 8 games, we were winning.
Yeah.
But it wasn't enough. Because we already had Newcastle, Arsenal, Chelsea in front of us, so there was nothing we could do about it.
Yeah.
And then we let go so many players, which was absolutely horrendous, because it left a gaping hole in our midfield.
Yeah.
So by getting McAllister for 35 million was a snip. That's the best business we've done so far. Sabotsley also came in. That's a good buy as well. But we've stalled. We're we're supposedly going for Lavia from Southampton.
Yeah.
They turned down a 35 million offer. We've increased it to 40 million plus add-ons. All the personal details have already been agreed. So as far as that deal is concerned, it's basically signed, sealed, done.
For Lavia? Okay.
Yeah, for Lavia from Southampton.
He's a good player.
Yeah.
Romeo, yeah.
Yeah.
Arsenal were looking at him for a while, I think. Yeah. Good player.
So I think as regards to the midfield, because Fabinho offered to the Saudi, that's off. That's done.
Fabinho,
he's not going.
It's not going to happen now.
No. So he's having to come back to Liverpool. Because there was talk about all his dogs being the problem, and that wasn't even the issue. We need to sort our defence out badly.
Yeah.
Because when we played Greuther Fürth, German club,
the
first half was very good. But when we changed at half time, it was awful. Our defence was shocking. We might as well have been playing a training game.
Yeah.
It was that bad. Because I was watching, and just because we started well by scoring through Luis Diaz, it all went pear-shaped because they finished 4-4, but they are in the lower German league. So how
they're not FC Bayern, man. They're not Dortmund. You know what I mean?
It was absolutely shocking. But to answer your question about the new season, we still need more players for our defence because of Matip, Gomez, and Nat Phillips will all, I think, leave.
Yeah.
And we need someone in to partner with Canate. It's not Canate, Virgil.
And Dijk.
With Canate, it's not that good when he comes to injuries. So if we can stay injury-free, we will be fighting for fourth, but whether we can actually get in it remains to be seen, because I don't see that we are going to get fourth. I think we'll be outside, like fifth.
It's going to be tough. It's going to be tough. I would be happy if Arsenal got top 5. I mean, Stapes, I'm going to bring you in here. How do you think Arsenal are going to get on? I know you think we're going to win the treble, Stapes. I know you think we're going to bring home this Scudetto as well. We're going to win the Serie A title. Yeah. But how do you think we're going to do, Stapes? You think we're going to get top 5? You think we're going to get top 4? I mean...
Yeah, I expect a challenge again. But that's about it. No one has a divine right to win any trophies. So as long as we're challenging, and that's all we've ever wanted as a club. From a fan base, we've always just wanted to be back up there challenging again. I remember when we was in the doldrums, we was always saying follow the Liverpool model, because they don't overspend, you know what I mean? And we're very much in the same bracket in terms of ownership.
Yeah.
So just a challenge again, you know what I mean? But we want to, because we was close last season, we want to go that bit closer. But I feel our midfield, not the team, but I feel our midfield is going to go through a transition. And it's going to be so hard to replace Granit Xhaka, not just on the pitch, but off the pitch as well. So, because he is a leader, he is one of them captains without the armband. So, It's going to be difficult. But, and I suppose we see that in the Man United game as well when they roughed us up a bit. You know what I mean? There was no one. Normally, he sets the standard, Shaka. He'll go and smash someone or get the players up for it. And we was a bit off it. We was a bit off it. But it'd be interesting, like in the morning, the game in the morning against Barcelona. I think we're all looking for a much better performance than what we put up against United.
Yeah,
It's
of
going to
course.
be tricky. I don't know if you see some of the interviews coming out from today as well with Declan. They're on ESPN and Sky
Yeah, I saw
Sports.
that. Yeah, he's delighted to be at the club, and he's going to move forward as a player and develop.
Yeah, and the thing is, do you remember the meltdown when Man City put their bid in and everyone was saying Sakedu and blah blah blah.
Yeah,
Now we've got him in. There's a lot of negativity because we lost to United with him in the team. So there's a lot of negativity around him saying we shouldn't have signed him. It's a waste of money. I'll tell you something. The best thing we did was not let Man City get hold of him, because if Man City got hold of him, whether it works out with us or not, if Man City would have got hold of him, we're all light years behind them. You know what I mean? So the
yeah,
best thing we did was make sure that Man City didn't get hold of him. Now he's in our team, we're gonna have to. I like the way he spoke as well. He said he's come here to win things. You know what I mean? You have to win things now. And him and Arteta, I want to get Arsenal back to where they used to be. So that's the main thing. Yeah. Like I said at the start, no one has a God-given right to win any trophy. You have to be in and amongst them.
yeah.
To say, like he said, you can't just be in the Champions League to make up the numbers. You got to be in it to win it. So he's saying all the right things. It's just whether, like, the biggest thing for me is that he was saying he's learning a lot more, and it's so much to take in. The amount of detail that Arteta gives to his players on a training pitch, and he said it's going to take him a little while to adapt and to get used to it. So, and I don't know about you, but we haven't seen my favourite three in the midfield, and that would be Rice coming in for the Xhaka role, Party keeping at the bottom of the pivot and leaving Odegaard where he is. And as soon as Rice can pick up that role, for me, that's our best three. You know what I mean? And we see where we
I'd
go
agree with
from.
that. I'd agree with that. 110%. That would be our best. And yeah, the United game, man. I mean, it was disappointing from different aspects, but you could see that the team was disjointed. I mean, you know what I mean? There was a lot of change. I'm not making excuses. I'm just saying there was a lot of change. I like to call it like I see it, but it was just too much to kind of. Rice was Rice wasn't his normal self. Yeah, there was some meaty tackles being there was some hard tackles being meted out to some of the players. There was some physical challenges going in, definitely, and maybe I kind of underestimated myself, like you touched on it about Xhaka. I was kind of kicking myself after, because I was like, my buddy, like I said, over in Switzerland, man, he's FC Basel fan, and Shaq's brother, like I always mention, is still at Basel. Yeah, they grew up in Basel in Switzerland. Talent is still playing for Basel. Yeah, Talent Xhaka, and it's, I think he had a point, because he was always saying to me, Dave, you're going to miss Xhaka when he goes, because maybe you're not aware of what he fully does. And he is the Swiss captain, Xhaka, still. It's like he's always saying to me, and I have to see him now next month. I'm going to Switzerland, so I'm sure he's going to be rubbing my nose in it. But yeah, I think maybe we didn't realize fully what Xhaka actually does for the team, and maybe we didn't. He did like the kind of the graft. You know what I mean? He's a grafter, and yeah, we
And
definitely
you know
against
what else?
United we got butchered. You know what I mean? They
You know
took
what
us.
else I dislike about the narrative around Xhaka is everyone says he has one good season at Arsenal, and that was last year. But it wasn't. He had the last 2 years at Arsenal, he was exceptional. And the year before last was what made him be able to go to this level that he did last season, the season
Mm,
before.
mm,
He was so good for us. And I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of them started when we scored goals. He was telling them all to come together. And it wasn't just for a celebration. He would lock them into a group hug, and he would be telling them, right now, switch on, because you're at your most vulnerable when you score a goal. So he's like, switch on now. When we go back, everyone get into position and make sure that you're ready. You know what I mean?
mm.
So, because we see it a few times where we've scored and then conceded straight away. and he was sick and tired of that from the
Against
previous
West
season.
Ham, eh? That was the one that cost us last season as well. The West Ham thing, we missed the penalty, and next minute Bowen was in. I mean, it was literally a one ball, and we cleared it, but they played it back. It was like, what the? But yeah, he's a leader. He's a leader, and he led by example. And he had a very good season last season.
He's got to be missed. But the way Declan was talking today is he said he don't feel like the new guy, and that's a good thing because you need him to be a leader in that dressing room. So he needs to pull his socks up and start being very vocal in that dressing room because we're missing Xhaka for that. So we need someone else to step up to the plate, and I'm hoping it will be Declan.
I think the team will improve in the long run, but it is going to take time. Like we saw against United, they were much sharper. They were much quicker to the ball, and they were dangerous when they got it. They really know how to hurt us. I mean, they were very, very good. But we got a couple of guys coming back. Like Saliba played a bit, but he's not fully fit, in my opinion. He's only getting back into it. Gabriel's got his own stuff going on. He was partnering him. We had Tomiyasu. I thought Tierney did well when he came on. Tierney was the one for me that actually realised he started going into some tackles, like some hard 50-50s and breaking some ball and putting the ball out as well. Like Tierney, for me, he actually got stuck in. And United were kind of like reeling a bit because he was the one that was actually, he gave us a bit of drive in the second half and we got a couple of half chances. Smith Rose. But what do you make of Havertz? What do you make of him? Like, where is he going to actually play? Like, what is the role? I thought he was going to be full forward. Innocent Dave, he's going to be striker. Next minute, he's midfield. You think he's going to do the business for us, Dips?
Well, I told you that I looked at the Havertz deal, the money we spent on him and the money we spent on Vieira, and these two signings have to work out for Arteta because that's over £100 million on players that me, you, and a lot of the Arsenal fan base don't think will make it at Arsenal. So to throw £100 million away is a lot. But let's be fair, he's only played two games, played in 2 games, won't play the full 90 minutes. Yeah. I think it's very evident that he's going to be playing the Odegaard role on the left-hand side of the pitch. But in order for that to work, and I mentioned it on the last time I was on your channel, Dave, that Kivior at left back, I wouldn't be surprised if Kivior come into left back and Arteta tried something different.
Yeah.
And that happened against the MLS. And to get a little bit technical, Kivior comes inside as like that deep Granit Xhaka role. And Gabriel goes round sort of left back and goes down that left side of the pitch. Now, you can do that and when Havertz plays, because then he's covered. But quite evidently against United, when Tomiyasu played on the left side, that didn't happen. And we was a mismatch. It was a shit show all over that side of the pitch. Gabriel didn't know what to do. He mistimed his clearance and they're in for 2.
Yeah.
It was a shit show over there. So Kivior adds that balance when Havertz has to play in that role. But I don't think KT can do it. I don't think Tomiyasu can do it. So I'm looking at Zinchenko and I'm looking at Kivior, and they're the sort of partnerships you're going to have to play with a Havertz starting. If Havertz starting, Kivior or Zinchenko has to play. Otherwise, I think that's going to be a weakness of ours where teams will target along that left side, our left back, their right side of the pitch. Because otherwise, it's okay. Everyone shout and raved about Tomiyasu marking Mo Salah out the game at the Emirates last season. And he's okay doing a man-to-man job. But if you're going to ask him to get involved in possession from the left side of the pitch, the very next game after Liverpool, we went to Leeds away and they run all over us. And he played left back. It was a poor performance by us, and how we got out of there winning 1-0, I'd never know. So I don't think Tomiyasu works on the left side of the pitch unless you're doing a man-mark job. So effectively, you're down to 10 men because you're ruling one of your players out of your system. He's just going to solely mark.
Yeah.
But yeah, Kivior's the link for me. If Havertz starts, then Kivior or Zini has to play.
Yeah, it's an interesting one. It's something that Arteta needs to really look at as well. I'm sure he's thinking along the same lines as you are, but yeah, it's an interesting one. I mean, now it's going to be a different dynamic for the new season, and it's a different team, it's different players. There's changes coming in vital areas. You know what I mean, like the midfield, Declan Rice. A lot is expected of him. In fairness, there's a lot expected of Declan Rice. Obviously, I'm not expecting us to win the Premier League just because we got Declan Rice. How do you feel about the forward situation? And Henry, man, feel free to jump in anytime, yeah. But the forwards at Arsenal, I mean, we do need. I mean, we need some firepower. I mean, we need a striker, in my opinion. I mean, people are saying get Ivan Toney, even though he's, you know, not around at the moment. But when he comes back, even just to have him coming in, we need somebody. I mean, my opinion, I love Eddie Nketiah. Yeah, people absolutely slating Eddie. I've always had time for Eddie Nketiah. I also have a time for Balogun, but I don't think they're at it. I don't think they're on it. Jesus, I don't think he's the answer. Not being negative, no man, yeah, but I just think we need to buy a striker. The guy that can hit at least 20 goals a season and give us that, we have that target man. Like I'm going back to the days of Giroud. Jeez, but we didn't know how lucky we were when we had the Olivier. He was good, man. Obviously, Van
Yeah,
Persie was the ass act, but Giroud was a decent striker, man. He was a good quality striker. We just need someone that can actually score. Like in the big games too, you're only getting one or two chances against the bigger teams. We need someone that's going to stick them away, put the chances away, and that's just one thing I'd say. Early doors football TV just cooked up a chicken curry. I'm around, Dave. Would you stop making me hungry, would you, for God's sake? I thought, what I actually thought he said when I first read it? I thought he was calling me a chicken curry. I thought he was saying I thought he was saying I look like one. I was looking at myself like I am a little bit red, guys. But I was kind of like, what's he talking about? I thought you were calling me a chicken curry there, Tony. I was going to say, geez, wait till you know what I mean? I'll be on the phone to him later, like texting, what's the buzz? You know what I mean? But yeah, if you want to come on, Tony, man, the link is in the stream anyway. But yeah, Henry, Mo Salah. What is going on with Mo
Yes.
Salah? Is he ready? Is he fit?
Oh,
Is he ready to
yes.
go? And how
Yes, he
much
is.
will and how
Yeah.
much do Arsenal have to pay to sign him? How much will he come to Arsenal for?
You've got no chance.
What?
Salah scored against Crystal Firth after
Yeah.
Darwin Núñez scored twice. So, no, you've got no chance at poaching any of our players. I
No.
think you've got more
Okay. Huh?
problems with your midfield, with Declan Rice, who is going to partner Declan Rice in midfield.
Mm.
And yes, you need a striker because you haven't got one. As Havertz is not a striker. He's best part midfield or in an inverted midfielder that plays behind the two up front.
Yeah.
But you definitely need a striker, a
Yeah, we do. Yeah.
recognised striker, because I don't think you have one at
Mm.
all.
Mm.
Because Saka is not a striker, he's a
No.
winger.
They're wingers, and Martinelli is like Martinelli is.
Martinelli,
Yeah.
but you need someone who can put in at least 15 goals a season. And maybe you would need goals from not just a striker, but within the midfield, or depending on what system you play, formation-wise, because we are changing our formation,
Yeah.
as we used to play a 4-3-3, but we are changing our formation to play 3 at the back, 2, and then the forwards.
Yeah.
Because we're having Szoboszlai and McAllister, and then Trent and Elliot in behind. And then the forwards would be Slaw or Nunes or Gakpo, depending on what games we're playing.
Gakpo is good, man. I like Gakpo. I think he caught my eye at the World Cup last year, for Holland. Decent player. And then I heard Liverpool had signed him. I was like, this guy is the real deal.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I'd seen him at the World Cup, man, and I was impressed. He's got a clean pair of heels. Like against Argentina, okay, he got battered by Argentina's defense and midfield.
Yeah.
But against Argentina, Gakpo was actually full of running. And he was the one that looked like he could really do something. You know what I mean? They were worried about him. He's quick, he's skillful, he's strong. And when I heard Liverpool had got him, I was like, they got themselves a good player there. He's a decent player, man. But Arsenal with the situation on the striker, like you said, we do need someone. I don't know what Stape thinks about it, man. You do agree that we need someone, Stape, so you think we can survive with what we have? I mean, I always go for Premier League experience above anything else. Yeah, if a player's got Premier League experience, I think it just helps with the transition. Yeah, when he comes to the club, it's a different level in the Premier League than it is League One, for example. With all due respect to that league, or even the Bundesliga, the Premier League is a higher league than the German league or the French league. Obviously, it's not as good as the Irish league. I mean, the Irish league is a serious division. Irish league football is where it's at right now, but that's a joke, guys.
No comments. I
Cork City Football Club, guys. Cork City Football Club. I remember when we played Red Star by what a pasting we got. But Dundalk.
I mean, Irish football. I mean, I just saw the Irish ladies lose today.
Yeah.
So don't.
Oh man, they're out. They're out.
It's
they're unlucky,
it's struggling because of the FAI.
Yeah, the Football Association. But the ladies were unlucky, I feel, because look, we're not as good as England, no doubt. Yeah, we're not as good as Brazil, no doubt. But we came up against the hosts and we lost narrowly 1-0. And then we came up against the Olympic champions and we were winning and we lost 2-1. And it was an own goal that got the equaliser, you know. It was an own goal and then they got back into it 1-1 and then they got the winner in the second half. The ladies, okay, a little bit of quality was lacking. What can you say? We have a good coach, but a little bit of quality was lacking in those games. But yeah, they're going home now. Yeah, they're done. They've got like the last game, they're calling it like a rubber fixture. Yeah, it really is not. You know, it's not going to decide anything for them. They're done. But a bit unlucky against like Canada or the Olympic champions. A bit unlucky. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Ireland need a manager like Jack Charlton.
Yeah, Jack Charlton.
Because until you get a manager like Jack Charlton, you won't be winning anything anytime soon. And even with the ladies, they need to sack that manager.
And what we need to do is as well, we need to look for all English players that have an Irish grandmother. Because that's what we did under Jack Charlton, yeah. Like they got Aldridge, they got John Aldridge from like Tranmere Rovers and Liverpool. Yeah.
Ronnie Whelan.
They got Ronnie Whelan, they got Andy Townsend, they got Jason McAteer, Phil Babb.
Go back to those times. Yes.
The whole team was like English players, like kind of on the fringe. You know what I mean? Fringe English players that.
Well, that's why you've got Del Boy and others that are so angry at the FAI.
Yeah.
Because they are not doing their job properly.
They've been taking backhanders for years. I mean, but the Irish manager at the moment, I mean, he was good with Dundalk back in the day. Yeah? So I honestly thought he was the right man for the job, but he doesn't seem like Stephen Kenny, but he doesn't seem to be able to do the business. Like for Dundalk, he was winning all the titles. He was like, they were the dominant team. They narrowly missed out on the group stage of the Champions League. He almost got them into the group stage proper. They lost 2-1 to Legia Warsaw in Warsaw, and that's what decided it. But if they had beaten Warsaw, they would have been into the group stage of the Champions League. Like for Dundalk, that was quite an achievement. Yeah, they came quite close. But for Ireland, I don't know. But look, you have to, like, you have to
Kenny
kind of...
needs to go.
Yeah, he does, but you have to look at it too, guys, right? We're a small country, 5 million, we're going to be up against it all the time.
Yes.
You look at Scotland, yeah? Scotland are tearing it up, but they have much better players than we do.
If you're going to talk
even the north of Ireland are better than us. The north are better now. I never thought I'd say it, but the Northern Irish have a better team. I don't know, but we just don't have the players. We just don't have the players as well. It's a lack of quality.
If you go back to the 78 World Cup for Scotland when they played Argentina, that was probably their best performance because they've won nothing. But and Wales with Gary Speed.
Yeah, God rest his soul, Gary Speed.
Rest in peace, Gary. And Northern Ireland are, well, have they ever got anywhere with their team?
I think 2016, wasn't it? They had a lash. They had a go off it. I think they went into the second round and they lost. But definitely they were like constantly like qualifying for major tournaments out of nowhere, the North, and they were outshining us completely, the Republic. I don't know. I think Grealish has like an Irish grandmother or something, and Stones as well.
You might be right.
I'll have to check it. Yeah, I'll have to check the family.
You have to check it. But I need to go, unfortunately. Because
no problem, man. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you very much. Cheers.
Thanks for coming on, man. All the best, yeah.
And chat.
Take care, man. See you later, man. All right, big up, man. Yeah, interesting to have a Liverpool fan's perspective on things. What's going on with their club? He's not expecting much. He's not too confident going into the new season. Pro Al Henry, but interesting what he said about that moderator coming on. This guy Partridge. Next minute, like he linked it, and like there was 107. He said it was 300 people watching at one point. And when I saw it was 170, I was like, "What?
Ain't that comedian?"
You know, Alan, Alan, yeah.
Oh, right, okay.
This is John, yeah. I know. I was looking as well. I was like, when he mentioned Partridge, I was like, he was in that movie, The Other Guys, yeah, with Will Ferrell and
that's the one,
yeah, Mark Wahlberg. You know what I mean? And he gave him tickets to see Jersey Boys and this and that, but they were trying to investigate him. And he was giving them like special bottles of water. Anyway, that's gone off the point. But the Irish ladies, look, maybe next time. I think England are doing all right. Yeah, the Lionesses are doing okay, but the Irish. But like I said, man, they gone off the point here a little bit. But they came up against They came up against the hosts. They got turned over 1-0. Then they came up against the Olympic champions Canada, and they got beaten 2-1. It was the own goal kind of. We were 1-0 up, and then there was the OG, and it was 1-1 at halftime. That knocked the stuffing out of them. And then in the second half, the second goal, the killer second. They could never get back into it after that. I mean, they actually had a game with Colombia like a week and a half ago. I don't know, did you hear about that? There was just disgraceful scenes in the game. And the Irish team, they actually decided, they spoke to the head of the Football Association. And he said, take them off the field. The Colombians were just ripping them apart. I mean, it was meant to be a warm-up heading into the World Cup, yeah? Okay, it's a little bit competitive, but it was a friendly. And the Colombian ladies just kicked them off the park. There was girls getting injuries. There was players actually getting injured, like seriously injured. And I don't know what was going on with the Colombian coach, but he was saying, yeah, both teams are doing it. But it wasn't like that, yeah. But they have a reputation for playing physical, yeah? But with the tournament around the corner, the Irish coach took exception to it, yeah? Because one of the big players, she came off, and they were like, it's 50-50 for the tournament. I mean, that's not sportsmanship. You know what I mean? That's not professionalism. Like, the tournament's around the corner. It's a friendly. Keep players fit. See who's good, who's not.
Well,
Colombia just went for it, man. They were mad, milling into tackles.
Well, you had a fan base up in arms about the Martinez tackle on Saka the other night, didn't you?
What did you think of the tackle?
It's probably what you'd not normally expect in a pre-season game, but if that's the Premier League, he did win the ball. You know what I mean?
I thought it was a fair tackle.
Yeah, but it's because it's our star boy, and we've seen it for at least the last 2 years, everyone's kicking lumps out of him. They're doubling up on him and kicking lumps out of him. And then now to see it just in the season as well. But I have to say, Saka's looking at a beast. He's looking an animal, man. It don't look like he's stopped
He's
during the
looking good,
preseason. He's looking really
yeah.
good. So it's just now getting up to match fitness for him. You know what I mean?
Mm. Mm.
And in terms of what striker, like honestly, I would love a Victor Osimhen or a Harry Kane.
Oh yeah.
Um,
Would you
I
take
don't.
Harry
I don't
Kane at Arsenal? Huh?
oh yeah,
You
even
would,
just
yeah.
for the even just for the banter, like I'd have him cutting the grass or something.
Come
But
win the
yeah,
league
like
with us, is it? Come win the league, Harry. Time to win a trophy.
but that's the thing. Like you forget last season, everyone says we need a striker, but you forget last season we scored the most goals we've ever scored in a Premier League season. So it's goals
Yeah.
by commitment. So, but I do get it. We need that focal point in the middle, and we missed Jesus for a long while.
Yeah.
So, I wouldn't be surprised if Gabby Jesus, he might run out Arsenal's player of the season next season if he stays fit. You know, it seems like he's still dusting off the cobwebs. You know, so we see how
Yeah.
he gets on. I'd like to see us in these remaining friendlies now start going with the first team that we're looking to start against Forest. You know what I mean? Especially for the
Yeah.
first hour. I think that's what we was doing last pre-season, and this pre-season it's a bit of a mixed match. You know what I mean? A bit wishy-washy. Yeah, he's trying different things, which credit to him. If you're gonna do it in pre-season. But I'd like to see from tonight onwards or in the morning onwards, I'd like to see us, at least for the first hour, start looking to play the team that he's got in mind for the Forest game. Now, if Zinchenko is not fit and not taking part in training, then you've got to look at Kivior or KT starting that Forest game, and that's who should start against Barca tonight.
Yeah, they need to get settled ahead of the first game. You know? They need to get settled. I know what you're saying. The team needs to be settled, and they need to have a kind of the team that's going to start that first game needs to play and get used to playing with each other as a unit. Yeah, it's.
I know.
We need to hit the ground running. We need to win that game. We need to hit the ground running.
Yeah, there's a couple of things you can say to that because Arteta's damned if he does and damned if he doesn't by some of the fan base. You know what I mean? So. The fixtures that we start off with are a little bit harder than they were last year. But if Arteta doesn't win the first 5 games like he did last season, all the negative side that are on the socials, all the negative Arsenal fans will be going for him inside the first 5 games. I mean, you see it already after the Man United game. There was people saying Arteta out. So they've got their Arteta agenda.
Complete overreaction. Complete overreaction. I mean, it was disappointing, but people upset, I think, because it was just against United. I mean, it's just another game.
I get that.
The performance is what we should be concerned about, not who we were playing. It's inconsequential. You know what I mean? It's a friendly. It was more the performance concerned me than that it was United. I don't care if they beat us. I couldn't care less about that. Once the performance is good, it's all good, man. You know what I mean? It doesn't matter who we were playing.
There was no positives to take out of that game, didn't I? I said no one really put a stake down for a first team shirt or anything like that. But what I did notice, which was very evident to see, was when Partey come on in that second half, we started to control the game.
Yeah.
But it was too late because by then Ten Hag had everyone behind the ball. You know what I mean? So
yeah,
but it's very
they were confident as well. They were looking to. They were causing us problems on the flanks. They were causing us problem in certain areas. But what do you think about the Fernandes shot and the Ramsdale parry? I mean, he tried to save it, but he couldn't keep it out. Do you think he should have done better with that? I mean, or do you think it was just a good, well-struck shot?
I think it's a bit of both. A bit of both, Dave. I used to play in goal, and a keeper's nightmare is when that ball dips and bounces just before your hand goes to meet it.
Yeah,
it's really, really difficult. But he'd be disappointed having conceded that, and I would have been as well. You know what I mean? It's one of them. He did see it. You know what I mean, from a distance, and
he saw it far out.
Yeah, but it was well hit. And when it's got that dip, that little low dip where it's going to spin off the turf, you've got to kind of hit it with your hand as it bounces, because the bounce is going to be terrible for any keeper. So, but yeah, I am a bit like he should save that at least. When a keeper gets his fingers to anything, he's thinking he should have done better if it's still gone in. So Aaron knows that, and look, it's pre-season. I keep saying it. If these mistakes are going to happen, let them happen now. You know what I mean? I don't think
that was the time.
10 minutes, but and even the second goal, I have to admit, like from that angle, I do feel Ramsdale could have done a little bit better with the second goal. But it's not his fault. It's not his fault because the mistake happened beforehand through Gabriel. But yeah, it's one of them. Like we want our goalkeeper to be that last line of defence and get us out of. In all fairness, if that's an Arsenal player clean through like Sancho was and he misses, we're going to be saying he should have scored. You know what I mean? So Sancho scored, so let's give him his credit. You know what I mean? But
he blasted it in, man. He power. He buried it. You know what I mean?
But if Eddie was in that position and he missed, everyone would be saying sell him. You know what I mean? So
yeah. We're quick to kind of jump on things at Arsenal at the moment. The fans are quick to kind of.
I noticed Eddie's been playing out on the left quite a lot as well, and I don't seem to understand that with the amount of left-sided players we've got. I don't see why he's out there. I am one of these that do think Balogun should be given a chance.
Okay.
But evidently he was training on his own. The reasons are unclear as to why that is, but it looks like that Inter Milan bid is imminent and Arsenal are protecting him. They don't want him getting injured. So he didn't play every part in the United game, and I don't suppose he'll play in the Barcelona game. And if he doesn't turn out against Barcelona, it's very evident that he's not going to be starting the season.
He's not going to feature. He won't be featuring in the coming season. But it's a pity that we're kind of at 6s and 7s in the attack. I mean, I don't know, man. Like last season, like you said, we scored the most goals we've ever scored. And to be honest, a lot of people started contributing goals, like from all over the field. Everyone was getting in on the act. You remember against Bournemouth, Ben White, Thomas Partey, then Reece Nelson struck to give us the 3-2 win. I mean, a lot of people were helping out there. A lot of people were giving it a lash, but I don't know. We just need an out-and-out striker. We just need someone that's going to absolutely terrorize the other teams. Like if we have them under pressure like that, we need someone that's going to be able to get 1-from-1, because against the better teams, we're not going to be, the chances will not be, there'll be few and far between. We need someone that's a bit more prolific and that's going to have threat up front. I mean, we need to terrify teams like United that they can't commit so many players forward because they know who's up front for us, up top. That's what we need. It's not just about how many goals they score. It's keeping them occupied, that the defense can't come out freely and join the attack. We need to keep them occupied. We need to have the fear. I mean, you remember when, I know now he's the greatest player probably to ever play for the club, but Henry, they were terrified of crossing the halfway line. They wouldn't even approach it because his pace was just blistering. I mean, we need someone that's just going to terrify him. And someone that's got a bit of physicality, because we're lacking a bit of physicality in the team, like in general, a bit of power. You know what I mean? That's what I saw, like against United as well. They mashed us up. They mashed us, man.
You mean up top? Power up top, yeah?
Yeah. Physicality. And a guy that's really, like I mentioned Giroud earlier, yeah? He had that. Big guy.
Yeah, I got to be honest, under Wenger, we went for like small ticky-tacky midfielders.
They were brilliant. They were brilliant. No.
But now, when you look at the size of the Arsenal team, it's big and they're very physical, especially defence and midfield where you need it.
Yeah, that's true.
One place we are lacking a bit of physicality is down the middle, up front, that number 9, number 10 role. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Odegaard is, and Fabio Vieira, and like that's what I can understand about. Sorry to interrupt you, but I can understand about Smith Rowe, because what I like about Smith Rowe when he plays, regardless, he's robust. I mean, he can ship a tackle. The guy's got strong legs. He's got a strong frame. He's a robust kind of player. Arteta didn't seem to be playing him much. I mean, okay, he's not like Saka. He's not going to set the world on fire. I get it. He's not got pace to burn, but the guy can physically ship a challenge. I mean, he can stand up to a bit of the physical stuff. Smith Rowe is like a tank. Like big guy, big legs, man. I mean, he can take a tackle. I don't know. Every time I see Smith Rowe play, I like him, and I think he's done all right. You know what I mean? Okay, the United game, of course, nobody kind of did all right, but it was good to see him back. And I'm a fan of that player. I don't know which role they could play him in. I don't know, how things are looking. Maybe he's limited. He's been out of favor for a while with Arteta for one reason or another. But I like that player, and I think he's got a bit of physicality. And he is a big guy compared to Fabio Vieira, for example. He's got muscle. He can take a tackle, man. You know what I mean? He can chip a challenge. He's all right. We didn't use him enough last season. You know what I mean? That was a bit of a...
Well, you can look at Smith Rowe, and everyone seems to hate this sort of praise, but you can look at Smith Rowe like a new signing for this season because he didn't hardly get the ball last year. You know what I mean? So, but what will be very evident is, do you remember everyone used to say Arteta's got this problem with Martinelli because he's not playing him? He's back from injury, he's not playing him. You're going to see the very same thing happen with Smith Rowe. He's going to ease him back in gently. At the back end of last season, Smith Rowe was he had a setback on his injury, didn't he? So
yeah.
you can you're going to see him eased back in slowly by our team. You know what I mean? And Arteta trusts in his staff, so he will listen to them and he will give him the minutes where he can give him.
Yeah.
I'd expect Smith Rowe to be starting in every Carabao Cup game and every FA Cup game, and then try and grab the odd minutes between the league and the Champions League as and when. But at the minute, he's not a starter. And that's not because of ability. That's because of his injury has set him back. You know what I mean? And the team went to another level while he was at versus.
It's been unfortunate for him, and there's a comment there for you, Stapes. You're going to have to put weights on one side of the pitch to counterbalance that left-hand side. But we can do that. That's not a problem.
But he's kind of right. It's what I was alluding to earlier with Kivior. Like, you put Kivior in, then you can play Havertz. And I tend to see that happening in a lot of home games. Havertz playing and having that extra forward, that extra attacking threat. Because I don't know if in the MLS game they couldn't play through, so they went long, and Havertz actually went up alongside Jesus, got the flick on. Jesus got it down and won the penalty. It was a little bit harsh, the handball penalty, 13 seconds into the second half, but that's what happened. They went long, and now we've got a focal point for as a header, flick-ons and getting in behind. So that's what Havertz does give us. But defensively, he's got none of that Shaka side in his game. So you're going to need a Kivior inside to back that up.
Yeah. They're going to have to work in tandem almost. Yeah, like for him to have that freedom, we need someone in there that can put their foot in there. That's going to put the ball out.
You noticed as well, but obviously noticing that Kivior thing that I've sort of highlighted a couple of times, I've also noticed that Odegaard and Havertz have been going wide, really wide, almost like they're wingers. And you see it when Vieira was playing instead of Odegaard. Vieira was really wide right. And I mentioned that on the last stream I come on with you, that Vieira might possibly occupy that right wing role and Saka will come inside. And that's what our wings are now, really narrow, really inside and up alongside Jesus. So you're going to see that side of the game as well. They're not actually wingers of, remember like the Man United Beckham era. Wingers are completely changed now. They're not just to get assists, they're to get you 20 plus goals a season. So they're going to be right inside that area. Like we see with Saka in the Man United game last season and away at Villa, he was getting in them areas just inside and around the edge of the box and scoring from them. So that brilliant finish away at Villa and the home one against Man United where he drew it really low into the corner. You're going to see Saka occupy them roles and our number 10 sort of drift out to the wide right. And I think Havertz is going to do that on the left side.
I can't get over how nice can't get over how nice that jersey is, man. It's after opening my eyes. That is a nice jersey. Sorry not to go back on that again. It's just the jersey is just taking my all. That is a nice jersey, man, actually. That's decent. I like it, man. I was thinking of getting the away one, like the Luminous. Because it does stand out. You go into a bar or whatever, you're out on the street. Obviously get OSG on the back, number 1. You know what I mean? Because my ego is not inflated, OSG number 1. And then thank you note to everyone that has supported me. Like a scripture from the Bible down the back. You know what I mean?
That's what I'm saying, David. It's really good quality.
It's gold, man. I like the gold's crest.
It's such good quality.
Beautiful.
And I didn't pay nowhere near what the club are asking for it. I actually get all 3 shirts for less than 40 pounds.
Wow.
So, yeah, but I'll show you exactly where we got it. I'll WhatsApp you, you know what I mean? And then you can order it.
It's not because you're a season ticket holder then. You don't get a discount. It's because of something else.
No. I get it from China.
All right. Okay. Let me know, yeah? Let me know on WhatsApp, man. I'm just going to take a little bathroom break there just for 1 second there, and I'll be back, all right? Don't think I'm gone off or something. Just 1 second now.
You left me on my own. You could have put Tony in. Where's Tony gone? I can't even see the chat. Let me see if I can see the chat. Is top missing the invincible numbers? Oh, you got them updated. I'm here. I can't even add your tone. I can't even add you. But now the invincible numbers, apparently they got them all wrong. So apparently it was meant to be, I don't know, I think it was like 34 or something like that, and then they ended up putting 32 on all of them. So they all got recalled. So yeah, but no, mine's just standard without all of that. Any more comments? $165 for a shirt. Yeah, finish your food, Tone, and then we get you on. Don't eat it too fast though, you get indigestion. You got a bit of naan bread with your Ruby Murray. Any more comments? Yeah, I noticed as well that some of the people that have bought Arsenal shirts from the club, they're all frayed and everything at the back of the shirt after 2 washes. So yeah, it's not good if you're paying £80 for them, but $165. What I'll say to you, Scotty, is there's an app called DHgate, and you can get any football kit you want off of that. So download the app DHgate, and you can get any football tops you want, anyone's. Like I've been after a Sampdoria top, and I got it off of there. My Turkish team is Trabzonspor, so I got that off of there as well.
DHgate, I know them, yeah. I knew them for a while. I was listening there, man. Yeah, decent stuff, yeah. Decent stuff. You know what I mean? I think I bought a pair of Yeezys off from back in the day when I was living in Switzerland. Obviously they're fake Yeezys, yeah, but they are an excellent pair. I mean, they're so close to the actual it took me ages to find them because some of the ones you see, like DHgate, obviously you know the steps, but DHgate is like a portal, and underneath that then are all the companies in China that do it. They're all under one roof. DHgate. Yeah, I remember I got my fake Yeezys back in 2019. I still have them. They're perfect. I wore them when I was on the flight to America. Very good copy.
It'll be less delivery time for him because They tell us 3 weeks when you're in the UK, but New Zealand is very close to China, so you'd get them really quick.
Yeah,
And,
you should check. That's a good point. You should check it out.
I wouldn't pay that kind of money. No way.
Yeah.
Like,
Sorry for leaving you on your own there, Faves, man. Sorry I left you on your own. Yeah, my apologies.
Right. Tony said he'd jump on, but he's still eating his curry.
The link, anyway, guys, is in the message bar. Yeah, it's the very first message at the top. If you can see it, that's the link for the stream. Yeah. So Luca might be coming in later, I think, and I doubt it though, but he might. But Pete McManus might be coming in as well a little bit later. Depends how work is with him because he's snowed under at the moment. There must have been Edu doing maths. That must have been Edu doing maths on the shirt. Poor old Edu, boy. My buddy Edu. My buddy Edu, boy, shook his hand, stood beside him. 6'4" of him.
They put the wrong number on the shirts for the Invincibles.
That's what they're talking about. That's
so they have to recall all the shirts back in, and then send them out new ones.
I would probably get the shirts fast as New Zealand is not too far from China. Yeah, exactly. Like even to Europe, I think the machine that is China is just never resting. Yeah, this DH gate, even like when they get things out, I think in like 2050, they're going to have the #1 economy in the world, is what they're saying. China's coming online now.
I ordered mine, and they actually said it wouldn't get here until the first weekend of the new season, and I got it within a week and a half. So it all depends on what time you place your order, whether there's a plane jetting over stock here, and if it manages to get on it.
Yeah.
So I managed to get in just on time. You know what I mean?
The speed of it is good. I had DHL before for something because my soon to be ex-wife, actually, we were moving from Switzerland, and she actually we boxed up all our stuff, and we got a courier service to drive it to London from Switzerland, which was pretty reasonable, and it was quick and easy. It's not actually that far, by road. But anyway, she put her passport in with one of the boxes, so the passport turned up in London, as she hadn't taken a flight. That was the most stressful time. Now, I had a friend in London, that was living by Aldgate Station, and he came to her place of business, all our stuff. So she had to put away safely. So she was rummaging through the boxes as quick as possible before the DHL rider came to send the passport back. It went from London to bloody Germany, from Germany to Switzerland, and we had it back we got it back really quick in time for the flight over. I'll never forget that. Check them out, guys, if you're ever stuck, the DHL service, it's extremely fast. But she was like, "Oh, my passport, where is it?" I was like, "Oh no." Yeah, all her information and everything in a folder, and she put it into the box, and the box went off. Anyway, that's women for you guys. You mean to say you can't live with them, you can't live without them.
It's what it is.
It is what it is. Scott Kirk, Todd Bowley said when they get a sponsor, they would post out a transfer so people can iron on the shirt. That's just bad crap. Oh man, what? That is just go into the bloody club shop and get them to put it on there. I pass the Chelsea ground every day.
That's a lot of
Chelsea.
A lot of people make that mistake, Dave. So like the Emirates, the Fly Emirates, and if you get a name and number on the back, if you just put it on a wash, and a lot of your washes are like standard 40 temperature. If it goes on a 40 temperature, these are going to start peeling off. So you have to change your temperature to 30, no higher than 30, and then if you do happen to put it on a 40, you need to get a kitchen towel or a bathroom towel, and you need to put it over the sponsor and then iron it back on. Because it will just peel off, but you can't put an iron on these shirts. So you need to put a kitchen towel or a bathroom towel over the printing, and then steam your iron over it, and it will just go back.
Interesting. You should be like Rocky Nico. Rocky Nico. You should be like him down the Tollington selling jerseys. I can imagine you could be like Del Boy. You know what I mean?
I made these
And you're out in
mistakes.
Peckham as well. Out in
Yeah,
the
I
Land's
am.
End. You could be there with your stall, you know what I mean?
The
And you could be
Land's End is
shouting like
about 10 minutes
hats,
away
scarves,
from
and
me.
headbands. Hats, scarves, and headbands. Hats, scarves, and headbands. And you could be there with the jerseys as well. And when the cops come, just don't try to resist it. Don't try to resist. Don't run. Just make it worse. Yeah.
They're the first in the queue, the cops. They want something.
I was at King's Cross Station, collecting for Great Ormond Street the other day, and we had Bernard the Bear with us. And Bernard the Bear was like our manager, was dressed up as Bernard the Bear. The cops at King's Cross, I don't know what they get on by. I'm sure they're taking steroids or something, or they have like 3 dinners a day. Gee, God almighty. But as somebody who works at, to me, it's like an international station. There's trains come from France, from Brussels as well, from Belgium. But yeah, the cops were there, and I turned around to the boss like that. I was, run, Bernard, and all the cops started laughing. I was, run, Bernard. They're there for Bernard the Bear. And I said, run, Bernard, and all the cops were laughing. But they're built like brick shit houses, Tapes. These guys are
You have a lot of armed response police around that area as well.
But they're like absolute bulls. I mean, I don't know what they're lifting in the gym, man. Jesus almighty. They'd pick you up with one hand by and they will get your hand behind your back. You know what I mean? It is going to happen. The cuffs will go on.
I think a lot of them are ex-army forces as well, you know what I mean?
Yeah. They're massive. One fella, he had no neck. It was like shoulders and his head. There was no neck. Anyway, I was like, run, Bernard. That was so funny. I got, a guy walked up to me, and he gave me £50 in cash for the charity.
For the charity?
£50 in cash, one guy. Big up him, boy. I turns around, I goes, you're a gentleman, my friend. I mean, £50 is £50, Steps. That's a lot of money, man.
Yeah.
That's a lot. Even if he has it, it's a lot of money to give away, Does the shirt feel weak, like Rio Easy? Huh? What is Rio Easy? Or Rip Easy? Does the shirt feel weak with a rip? Yeah, with a tear easy, like when the women are ripping it off your Steps.
I suppose if you're going to play football in it, because I give up football, I suppose if you're going to play football and someone tugs your shirt, it probably would go. But I don't have anyone grabbing onto my shirt. You know what I mean?
The ladies aren't ripping it off you. All right, I get you. They're not tearing the clothes off you.
But yeah, I think a lot of shirts are like that, aren't they? That a lot of shirts will rip easy. And nowadays, you even see it on the football pitch when they're tugging each other.
Yeah, they're light material. They're lightweight. Are you both watching the Barcelona game? Good time for me, 2:30. I know what you say, Steps. So it's at 4 a.m. Maybe I could go to sleep for a few hours, wake up and do a stream, but
I know it's sad, but I don't miss any Arsenal game. I don't miss any Arsenal game, so I will be watching it. Like even when the World Cup was on and we was out doing warm weather training in Dubai and we had the AC Milan, and that's incidentally even regarding the result, they went to penalties anyway and had penalty shootouts in them games. I watched them. I don't miss a single game, so I will be watching it.
It should be interesting to see what happens in the game. It's going to be very interesting. I mean, to see the way Luis Enrique has them set up. They were saying about getting Lewandowski, but we're not going to buy Lewandowski. That's not going to happen at all.
No, that ship's sailed. He's too old for me. I wouldn't want him.
Yeah. He's a god over in Poland. I mean, people love him over there, but yeah.
Well, my neighbours are next door and they love him.
You told me, yeah. I told you about my time in Warsaw New Year's Eve, like in 2016, and they had the cardboard cutout of him in the dining room. When I walked in, I was like, big full size one. By there he was, and all his, in all his glory with the Polish kit on. I was like,
he's in really good shape still now. Like I've been seeing some pictures of him on break with his family, and he looks ripped.
He is, yeah. He looks after him.
Still wouldn't have him.
He looks after
if we had to buy him, you know what I mean? I wouldn't have him.
Yeah.
I'd have taken him on a Bosman, but I ain't paying no money for him.
Not at this point in his career. At this point. Yep, basically, Tony. Tony wants to know what is the quality of the material.
It's
this
really
jersey
good.
thing. This jersey has opened up. How much did you pay? You said £40.
What's that?
£40 is what it cost.
No. I got this with postage and packaging for under £15.
Under 15.
Yeah.
What?
And I bought this, and then I bought my son the home and away shirt kits, and all for under the price of what one of these would cost you from the
Yeah,
Arsenal shop, with postage and packaging included, and I still got change. You
yeah.
know what I mean? I
Yeah.
bought the carnival top from there. I bought the you know the kit that we wear once a season, normally in the FA Cup, to
Yeah.
promote um to stop the knife crime.
Yeah, that's right.
No more red, and Arsenal wear the whole complete white strip. I got that offer there as well. So yeah, you get any tops you want, and for all clubs, not just Arsenal, all clubs.
That is
So,
that is, I actually forgot about that, man. DHgate. Jeez, that is, and like the thing is, tapes, it comes comfortably to your home. It's posted out. You take it out of the packaging, you put it on you. You know what I mean?
Royal Mail deliver, don't we? So Royal Mail deliver it.
Yeah. It's going to get there.
So, it does.
Excellent.
It does.
Stapes too quick on the pitch. Speedy Gonzalez. Tony seems to think you're like Pele or something, does he? Or what's going on?
No, I think he's thinking about himself because I never had pace. Never had pace.
A goalkeeper doesn't need pace. You just block the ball with your hands. You know what I mean? Ramsdale.
Yeah.
Maybe you could take Ramsdale on like a London Colony train and Stapes and Ramsdale. You know what I mean?
I was
Show him
either
the road.
in goal
Show him the
or
road.
centre back. Yeah. And I was like one of them Martin Keown defenders when I played centre back. Just horrible.
No nonsense.
Nice as play off the pitch, but on the pitch I was horrible. So, but I'm sure I've said all this before.
Yeah, but look, you know what I mean? You weren't the only one. I'd say people you have to be a bit, you know what I mean?
It was the era. It was the era where I was brought up in. That's how you had to be. So
Yeah, you have to be a little bit.
I had professional goalkeeping training. I had a goalkeeper coach who's a professional coach, and he taught me that when I go up to claim the ball, I have to have my knee out to protect my body. But when it's out, to protect my body, I have to hit someone with it. So whoever's coming in to get that cross
Then he
with
comes
me,
up and you push
make
through.
sure make sure my knee hits them wherever it is, back, belly, head. You make sure that knee connects with them. And he said if you don't, and you get the brunt of it, you get the knee injury. So you have to be committed, because if you go half-hearted, you come off worse.
Yeah, if you go in soft, yeah. If you go in like light, you're going to get hurt. Yeah.
But they wouldn't they don't train that now. They wouldn't tell you that now. So it's what I mean is like it's errors, isn't it? So
that's because the referee's protecting the goalie. You know, like the goalie gets the benefit of the doubt if he drops the ball after being challenged. Whereas back
then, not so much now, but more so back then.
Yeah. No, you had to be a bit physical, man. I know what you're saying. But lucky you have, like I met you, you're tall, right? You're a tall fella. You're the right size for the goalkeeper. At least when you jump up and get the ball, when you bring the knee up, you're at the height, you know, where you can actually defend yourself, because you're kind of rising up above it anyway, but you're tall as it is. You got long legs. You can actually get it out there and hurt you. You need to protect yourself. I mean,
the funny thing is, you would do it once and then they wouldn't come anywhere near you. You'd have every cross after that claiming that's the one.
You clean them out once, and they know then that it's just you're going to do it. They're going to back off. They're going to get hurt. We want to make sure we're getting value for money, Dave. That's it. All the questions about the jersey. There's like about 50. I think there's going to be more messages on this one. Like it's a record, I think. There's like 50 for about the jersey. Stapes was getting interrogated.
What I would say is a lot of
beautiful jersey, man. Nice.
A lot of basically, if you're a lot of them do the size guide as well. But if you don't have a tape measure at home to do your size, what I would say is go a size up to what you normally are. So if you're a large, order an XL.
Yeah,
that's all I'd say.
Yeah. Size up, one size up to be on the safe side.
Yeah.
knee out, arms outstretched, so you smack the player, and when you're coming down, your arms hit the player as you bring your arms in with the ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
messy, just messy play. Tough, tough. Physical. It has to be that way. It has to be that way. It is what it is, man. What do you think about the Kylian Mbappe situation? I mean, that whole scenario, and like, there's no trust between him and PSG anymore. They think he's going to head off to Real Madrid. They think he has a deal with Real. He's going to sit on the bench for the next year, and then he's going to head off on a free. That's what they're worried about, yeah. But now he said he's not interested in Al Hilal. You see, the guys
So
put the
what?
story up, but he's not going to go over to the Middle East. Yeah?
I got no sympathy for PSG whatsoever. I mean, they made a statement the other day that really infuriated me. Is that if he leaves PSG on a free Bosman, then they will be forced to sell other players to bring their books into line. That is complete nonsense. I think it was two summers ago. How many free Bosmans did they sign? They had Donnarumma, Ramos. So it's okay for them to manipulate the market or take advantage of it, but it's not okay when it happens back to them. I've got no sympathy for these state-run clubs whatsoever. Kylian Mbappe, they want him out because I think it's Tuesday next week. He gets a loyalty bonus of £60 million.
Mm.
You know what I mean? And if he don't want to move to Saudi Arabia, he don't have to move. And if they want to bin him off like they did with Draxler and put the players that are not going to be involved in the first team over there, then over and train with like the under the reserve team or whatever, then it does bring into question his right to work, the employee rules. Like I see someone state, and that's the route he's going down. He's being forced out because they want a transfer fee. If he wants to leave on a free Bosman, he's not doing nothing illegal. It's all it's the contract they offered him.
Yeah.
It's the contract they offered him. What I will say from the Saudi Arabia perspective, the club that want to sign him, that's ridiculous. Like, you're talking over £250 million for one season to let him leave on a free Bosman. And not only that, that's just the transfer fee. They're willing to pay him what Chelsea spent in transfer fees last season in wages for one season.
Yeah.
They're willing to pay him what Arteta's spent in transfer fees since he's been at Arsenal.
700 million, is what's reported. It's almost a $1 billion deal. Yeah.
It's an absolute joke. And for me, you can't turn it down. I'll live anywhere for 12 months for that. You know what I mean? You can bang me up in the worst prison for 12 months for that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? I'll take that.
Bangkok Hilton. The Bangkok Hilton. With the cockroaches climbing all over you, man. You're there in your shorts. No shoes. Oh, God. Anyway, Bangkok Hilton. No, but it's like... it's true what you're saying, man. I mean, I'm laughing about the Bangkok Hilton joke there, but yeah, I don't get out much. But it's like, yeah, I don't know. It says no, he's not interested in going there, yeah, but they are Asia's actually. People that know about this club, I did a little bit of background check on him, yeah. Founded in 1957. I think Rivellino was playing for them at one point, yeah, the Brazilian ace. He turned up out there. Rivellino. Of course, he played with that 1970s team, I believe. But they're like Asia's most successful team. They've won 30 major trophies. Okay. Obviously, they have never been in the Champions League, but that's because it's mainly for European teams. Of course, it's for all European teams, but they're a successful team and they're Asia's most successful team. But they have got money. I mean, yeah, and they're the powerful team in the Saudi League. I mean, their stadium, for example, compared to all the other clubs, you know what I mean? You can't compare. You know what I mean? So they were a big club, but it's like, no, he's not interested in going. But someone made a good point on my stream yesterday. I can't remember who it was, but they made a good point on my stream. Like, when Ronaldo went to the Saudi League, yeah, the Saudi Pro League, how many of us actually watched more games in that league or watched even one game since he went there? Like, if Mbappe goes there, it's not going to draw me to watch that league. It isn't. I mean, honestly, Premier League, La Liga, Serie A, that's where it's at. You know what I mean?
I'll be honest. I did. I watched the first couple of games that Ronaldo played out there, but that's
Yeah.
because they were streamed live and free
Mm.
on YouTube. So, and
Oh, okay.
I just come across it while I was flicking through YouTube, and I was like, "Oh Jesus, Ronaldo! Let me watch it."
Yeah, of course.
And
Yeah,
then
something of interest.
nearest to my telly, and I've got it on the big screen. So
Mm.
I did watch a couple of games, but it didn't have my interest because I didn't hardly know any of the players other than Ronaldo. This year would be a lot different. Like one of the teams has got Riyad Mahrez, Bobby Firmino, and Saint Maximin as their front three. So you would watch that in the Premier League. So
Yeah,
why
of
not watch
course.
it?
Yeah. They have quality. Yeah, I think they want the whole. Obviously, they want the whole level of the league to move up. Like they got N'Golo Kante as well in that league, I think. But they want the whole level to go up. Yeah, isn't Steven Gerrard going out there to manage? He turned them
He's
down, but then
already
he
out.
went out. Didn't he?
Yeah,
He is
yeah.
right.
They are.
He's gone out there, right? He
Yeah.
turned them down first, but then he went out.
And he took Henderson with him as well from
Yeah,
Liverpool.
yeah. He took Henderson. They told him I think he was going to get like 100 virgins when he dies or something like that. He went out there. You know, he's a liver fuddly, you know, like 100 virgins. I mean, it's hard to find one of them. Look, I'm not going to say I'm going to get banned off YouTube, but yeah, he's a liver fuddly. And so there you go. They told him he was going to get 100 virgins. That's why he went out there. That was actually a good one. They are not they are not going to attract players with 12 or so players though. Can't see it. But they should I mean, at some point, do you think that they're going to become bigger than the Premier League? Like, surely not, right? I mean, they're not going to. But the amount of money that they're able to splash out is just, like you said, all of Arteta's spending, they're going to give him for 12 months. If, now it looks like he doesn't want to go, yeah? He does not want to go to Al Hilal. I don't blame him for not wanting to go there. If I was a player, man, I'd be off to Inter Miami or somewhere like that, like US. I know the league is pants. It's pony. I know it's not. But man, Inter Miami, man, you know what I mean? 7 people watching this stream. Jeez, I think that's a record. Whoa.
I've got to be honest. If you offered me that kind of money, you'd only have to even offer me half that kind of money. I'd live in Saudi Arabia or Dubai. It's not too far away. These
Yeah.
are beautiful, beautiful countries. So
Yeah,
I'd
sure.
be
Dubai is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's clean and it's safe and people are, there's that politeness and there's kind of like privacy there. Like if you're a famous footballer, the paparazzi are not so like animal like they are in the UK and America. They're extreme. You know what I mean? You have that little bit of privacy to be actually walking up and down the street, without being, it's less harassing out there. It's nicer. There's a bit more respect and it's a beautiful place. Yeah, like Dubai, they're after building that into I remember I saw the Conor McGregor documentary, yeah, and for his last fight, he was training out of Dubai. The fight was in Dubai, and the place that they had him in, incredible views of the Dubai. Just the way it was. I mean, everything about it. I mean, the place looked unreal. I mean, Dubai is definitely. And McGregor was well impressed. You know what I mean? But I remember watching that and I seen Dubai and I was like, Jesus, Dubai is why, man, excellent.
Yeah.
Like you said, me myself, I'm a fan of the US. I mean, if I had a chance as a player.
Yeah. See, I'm not.
Yeah, you don't like the US, yeah. Yeah, I get it. Yeah.
It's not because I do like the US, and I would be there. Like I would go and live there. It's very much similar to our country in England. Right? It's very similar, multicultural. So it's very similar, easy to settle. The only thing I don't like is there's just too many guns. And I can't raise a family in that country thinking my son could fall victim to any gun.
There's a gang culture there as well.
Yeah, it's just that's what puts the blockers on that for me.
Yeah, but when you put them like when they go to school or they're out of your sight, you couldn't rest easy, I suppose, right? Because it's too commonplace that
even the schools ain't safe. So this is
yeah.
But I do get the Second Amendment. I do get it. You should be able to defend your property. You know what I mean? I do get all of this, but I don't see the
checks. They need to vet people before they give them guns. Licenses, like the young guys that are the problem I have though is like, I mean, the young guys that that get the weapons, I mean, they are given, like, because America is gun mad culture. Obviously, they can go out into the forest and they can practice on the. You remember the guys for Columbine? I'm not going to go too into that sad thing now, but they were practicing on the bowling pins because that was like the vital organs in the center. Was like a bowling pin, so they were practicing with. That's why they call it bowling for Columbine. They used to practice on the bowling pins. They had them outside, like up on top of a pillar, and they were shooting at them. They have too much opportunity to practice. I mean, the guys that do these things, they are not shaking when they're doing it. They literally know how to reload, and they have AR-15s, and they have this and that. Like the National Rifle Association in Charlton Heston, back in the day. I mean, an AR-15 is not for killing a deer. You know what I mean? Like, they want the right for the Americans to go out and hunt, but an AR-15, you don't shoot a deer with that. You know what I mean? Like, what is the purpose of that gun to be on the market?
So, what I would say to that is you don't need semi-automatic. You don't need semi-automatic.
The Rifle Association are like, they have people up in Capitol Hill. They have people in Washington, and they sponsor these people. They put a lot of money into the government in America. So they are in a position of power, and even Biden would be afraid to tangle with them. Like the president of the US would not.
He's a complete.
But they don't need these semi-automatic weapons, man. They do not need AR-15s. Like, you can put down so many people in just one go, just one volley. You know what I mean? It's just madness. And even the security and the police going in there.
But then
they're not trained for that.
We've gone completely off the football subject, but where I do back sort of semi-automatics is if you need to overturn a corrupt government. And all governments are corrupt, but if they go to stupid levels of corruptness,
like in Venezuela,
then you as people need to take them over. You know what I mean? And so having semi-automatic guns are going to be needed.
Yeah, like an AR-15, AK-47, rocket launcher, But anyway, America, I hear what you're saying, man. I was there only once, but I like the place. I like the way of life there. But and people are friendly. But Miami, not a bad spot to be in, Not a bad spot. I myself would be like NYC or LA, I know NYC is too much at times, but where's the link, Dave? I think Tony's going to come on. Here we go. It's at the very start of the message bar, Tony, the very first one. StreamYard link. But have you been to the States, Tapes? Have you been over?
Nah.
Not saying that's going to change your mind, but I mean, go once in your life, man. Go up to NYC or something. I wasn't there, but I'm going to go.
Yeah, no, I will. I'm not saying I won't. I will, but it will be. I've always wanted to go to New York when it's like a snowy Christmas. I wanted to spend Christmas and New Year's there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the department store, Macy's, and Central Park. This kind of thing. That would be nice. I've never been to NYC, but I would like to.
I got asked to go to Vegas last year with my mate, but I'm not going Vegas. I am a gambler, and I'm not going Vegas.
Let me put it back up, Tony. You can't see it. Let me put it back up. There we go. Can you see it now? It should be right underneath your message. Can you see that, Stapes, in the message bar? I put up a link. Can you see it on the message bar?
Yeah, I can see it.
Yeah. Scott, I've not seen snow for 22 years. You know what the funny thing is when you went to the US, though, and I'm not an expert, when you enter it, when I entered, the Homeland Security, the guy that's there at the desk, animals, I mean, they are so grumpy and like, purpose of your visit. Why are you in the United States? Let me see your return ticket. And there's not even a blink. They're ripping. You can see it. They're actually shaking with anger almost. It's like they try to weed out people that are gonna get cheeky with them. They're testing the temperament of people going in. And if you're cool and calm the whole time, it's not a problem. I said to the guy, like, you have a nice day. He said, yeah, you too. And that was it. After he had, 5 minutes of kind of like all the questioning and the paperwork. But it's like they're trying to test your temperament. They're trying to see, are you a bit volatile or not? That's what they're out for, yeah. They're trying to see who's got a short fuse.
can make people nervous and feel on edge, and then that can also make you look suspicious as well, can't it? So
what I just did when I was coming in, I just went like that. I kind of did like a Snoop Dogg gangster lean, and I was like, like one shoulder out, and I had the tattoo show, and I was like, yeah, and I was coming in cruising up there. Like, I remember there was 2 Swiss people. This is when I was living in Switzerland. There was 2 Swiss people ahead of me, and they were giving the guy dogs abuse. I was like, they're going to get told to go back, but no, why he let them in? But they were giving him dogs abuse. I could hear what they were saying to him. They were ripping into him, especially the woman. I was like, Jesus, they're actually going to get escorted out. Seriously, they were tearing into him. I was like, what?
And that's a long old flight as well, isn't it?
Yeah, and I mean, if they say no, Stapes, it's no. It's their country. They don't have to be stuck at the airport. Would be anyway. Tony's here. Let's bring him on. Let's see what he's got to say.
Coming on,
don't worry, do man, no bother. Let me bring him on. All right, Tony, what's going on, man? You all right?
Yeah, I'm good. I'm good. Yourself?
This is becoming a bit of a thing, yeah. We got a bit of kind of a collective going on, a bit of unity on the channel. Yeah. I like your background, like I said, man. It's cool. I like your background, and I like Stapes' sofa. I look at those cushions. You know what I mean? They are some nice cushions.
Yeah,
those are some nice cushions. Yeah, my sense of humor is kind of off the wall, but don't worry about that. Man, what do you think about this Mbappe thing? No, he's not going there, he says. But sure, what's he going to do? Who's he going to stay with? You know what I mean? He's going to stay with PSG for another year, or what?
Well, this is the thing. It's going to probably it's going to infuriate PSG, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, they was hoping to kind of get that money. But as you said, what's he going to do? Is he going to just sit it out for the whole season, not do anything? He's got to keep his fitness up for one, isn't he?
European team, is he? Apart from Real, I mean, would he go to a European team? Spurs are talking about him. I mean, he's not going to go Spurs. Kane is going to leave, and he's going to go Spurs. That's not going to happen, man.
No.
They got themselves in a bit of hot water too, yeah. Spurs. Their owner,
that came out of nowhere, didn't it? That.
Jeez, they got caught with their pants down big time, right? Insider trading, serious business in the US, serious business.
No wonder Joe Lewis had to leave you, innit? Right, get rid of Kane. Yes, because he knew he had to get money. He had to get money in.
Yeah. It's kind of insane what's been going on, though. But, like, I don't know, man. Honestly, the big game is coming up later, yeah? The big game for Arsenal, I think, is at 4 a.m. I don't think I'm going to be up doing the stream on the watch along anyway. But the Barcelona match, we need to see a bit of improvement anyway. You see, I had Henry on the channel earlier, yeah? Henry Ray Baker came on the channel.
That's good.
Liverpool. Henderson left after 12 years, huh? He's gone over to... Man, did you hear the bad news, yeah? Sinead O'Connor passed away. That is...
because I was on... What was it? I think it's TJ. No, it was Jez's show at the time, and I see it come through, and I broke it out onto the channel. That she had gone. Yeah, it's the same. I think it's something to do with the son. Her son passing, isn't it? Because I think he kind of
he kind of went missing, and he passed. He was only 17, and then poor old Sinead.
Yeah, so I think that was obviously that must have been, and considering like the problem she had as well. Yeah, it's a bit of a shame.
Yeah, she had her own issues going on, yeah. She was a priest at the end. I mean, I couldn't believe it. She became a priest at the end after, like, just being completely against the Catholic
it's true, isn't it?
Ripping up a picture of the Pope and this kind of thing, and getting blocked from entering the US, and, getting hate mail and death threats all over the world. You know what I mean? And beating the bejesus out of people on the flight from NYC to Dublin, boxing people up and down the aisles. I mean... But she was a great singer, man. You know what I mean? And she was actually, I never seen a woman so good looking with a shaven head. You know what I mean? I never seen a woman look so good with a shaven head. I mean, 3 of us guys were sporting that look at the moment in honor of Sinead. But I never seen a woman look so good with a shaven head. I mean, she had some face and some eyes. I was like, whoa, man.
Mosquito mats on my one.
Oh, is that what it is?
Sunbathing on the back.
I don't know what's going on. It's getting a bit patchy in places. I'm a bit worried for the future. And I got silver whiskers coming out of my beard and everything. It's a bit
silver.
But I've got the wolf tones moustache coming on, so it's all right. The Irish moustache. I've got that coming on there. I'll sing a few Irish ballads later, guys. Mbappe, what's the story? Come to Arsenal. We need you, man. Harry Kane, we'll take you too. I don't know what I'm talking about here, but let's go like striker double pivot. Kane playing off Mbappe or Mbappe playing off Kane. You know, we should actually say, and I was saying last night, winding Tony up, we should take Jared Bowen. We might as well just take the whole West Ham team. I mean, let's see who else we can get. We'll give you Nketiah, and you give us Jared Bowen a box of after eights.
I told you before, he's not
Jared
leaving West Ham.
Jared Bowen.
No way. I'll tell you the only way that he gets to leave West Ham with Danny Dyer's permission is if they're in financial trouble and his transfer fee saves the club. Otherwise, he's there. He's there. He's not leaving.
Yeah, it's true.
No.
That's true.
Aye, man. That's a bit... we need someone anyway. We need something to go on. That's all there is.
We'll be taken back, Dave, because I heard rumours this week of a possible swap involving Martinelli. And plus some cash. And a lot of Gooners were saying, no, we wouldn't do it.
No. Martinelli, no way. Nketiah.
But PSG ain't going to want Nketiah.
Yeah, Martinelli, no way, man.
When the rumours first come out and they are now no longer rumours, they're true that he's available for transfer, I initially thought give them 100 mil plus Pepe and Balogun. And see where that gets you. But because they had interest in Pepe in the past, but Balogun gives them a centre forward who done it in the French league last season, and then the 100 mil.
But where is Nicolas Pepe now? He is still an Arsenal player, right? I mean, what is going on with him?
Yeah, he's injured. He finished the back end of last season injured.
Yeah,
and
he's been out for a while, man. You hear nothing about him or turning up for training, and he's doing well. His recovery is going good. He just dropped off the face of the earth. We paid 72 million for him. 72 million for him.
Listen, I told you last time I was on, he had plenty of good things to say about Arteta, how he's improved his game, how in depth he goes with him, and the detail about improving his game. But Pepe doesn't show it on the pitch. So I don't see him being one of them guys that Arteta will throw his hat to and say, look, go and turn the game for me. Ironically, he did it once. I remember when we was going for the top four with Spurs and we finished 5th. And he turned the Wolves game round late on at the Emirates. He turned it round, didn't he? Come on and sorted it all out. But that's got to be the only time I think he's played really well for Arsenal. I've always said that Pepe is more a freestyler footballer. He's one of them that can do all the tricks and whatnot, but you put him in a system and he's no good.
He's not effective. He's not effective. He's got good skills. He's a good player. He's actually quite skillful guy. But like you said, I mean, compared to Paul Pogba at United, he's Pele. You know what I mean? Like, let's be honest. Pogba at United was an absolute nightmare as well. You know what I mean? Let's have this comment in here. This one's for you, Tony. Are West Ham really after Maguire? Hard to believe, to be honest. But
why?
Well, no, apparently,
I think Maguire's good.
Kind of we're going for him. Apparently, it's a double deal. They want to go for him and Scott McTominay, and I think it's at the moment it's about 50 million plus for the pair of them. They're talking about doing. So I don't know if they'll get off the table. I doubt very much it will. But advanced talks with Wolf Prowse, so that looks like that's going to be over this line.
If you could get them for 30 mil. If you could get them for 30 mil each, I think that's brilliant. Brilliant business from West Ham. And then again, another 25 to 30 mil I'm hearing is nearly done for James Ward-Prowse. I think West Ham are looking better. With them three bodies in, and replacing, that's what they've done to replace Declan Rice. I think that would be brilliant business by West Ham. Absolutely brilliant.
Well, considering we were saying yesterday, when you look at Fulham trying to hold out for big money for Palhinha, at least we've turned, we walked away from that. Obviously, the other one that's going to be crossing the line apparently very soon is Carlos Borges from Man City. So that kind of gives us a bit more of an attacking option.
Yeah,
and he's a decent kid as well. His stats are quite, for his age, Yeah, I'll take that. So there's
Was there
that
not
as
another
well.
City player? Was there not another City player you're in for as well?
Defender, I think it is. If I remember rightly. I think it's a
Oh, the
defender.
centre back from the under-21s. He's got a double-barreled surname. Yeah, he done right. He England under-21s captain.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
he's a
can't
good
remember
player.
what his
Yeah,
name
he's
is
a good
now.
player, so.
But the bigger problem we've got at the moment, though, Snakes, is we've brought in this Tim Steadtine, but it seems that there's a bit of a kind of lost in translation because he's putting all these names to the board, and basically, I think it's Moyes is putting the kind of
blockers on it.
You know, the disruption. He's not happy with because Moyes likes bringing in English players. So of course, Tim Steadtine's bringing in foreign players. So there's a little bit of kind of disharmony at the moment. We brought him in. This Tim Steadtine, we brought him in for a reason. He's there kind of because we brought in Rob Newman from Man City, so he's doing more scouting. Noble's apparently going to be working with this Tim Steadtine, and in the background, you've still got Sullivan doing his part. So at the moment, it's a little bit of a mishmash. Who's going to actually be doing what? So hopefully, them deals like we just spoke about, they will go through, and I'll make you right what you're saying there. That actually kind of replaces Rice, and not being funny as you said, at least they're proven players that's going to do a job straight off.
Yeah, I think results at the start of the season, especially them first 10 games, if there's that kind of conflict in the background already, results for Moyes in the first 10 games are going to be massive because it could lose him his job. If there's one of them are obviously going to go. One of them's just walked in the doors. So you're looking at the manager now, and if he don't get results in the first 10 games, because results is the football business, isn't it? So them first 10 games are going to be crucial for him. Yeah, and if he don't pick up 5-6 wins in them first 10 games, you might see heads roll.
He could be.
Well, you got to think Moyes has got a year left on his contract, but apparently this Steadtine has actually come out with what's he here for? If he's getting all these players knocked back, what's he actually there at the club for? So that's going to be interesting.
Wow, he's direct, huh? He's very direct.
But that's the other thing. If your manager has a year left on his contract, right? Players coming in to play for Moyes are not actually coming to play for Moyes. They're coming to play for the club and what their feeling of the club is, because the manager's got a year left on his contract. So if he's not committed to more than 1 year, they don't see him being there for longer than possibly 6 months. You know what I mean? So this time at Christmas, he could be gone and they could have another manager. You know what I mean? This is why I always say, like, a lot of people, I know the Arteta subject's a bit thingy with the Arsenal fan base, but he always keeps signing 2-year deals. And I'm always like, well, you should commit to what you ask the players to commit to. You should commit to a 4-year deal plus, because you're asking Saka to, you're asking Saliba to. So you got to commit, because I watched the Declan Rice interview. He's come in not just because of Arsenal, but because of the way Arsenal have been playing under Arteta. If you watch his interview, he's signed because of Arteta. Saka has extended his contract, and so has Saliba, because of the way Arteta manages them, because of the way he's got the club going forward. Now, do what you want as fans, have your opinions on that as you want, but this is what the players have said. This ain't my opinion. This is what the players have said. So now Arteta needs to commit to a deal for as long as they have, as well, as far as I'm concerned. But I don't really have any worries about him losing his job, because the Kroenkes, they stood by him after 7 games without a win in the tough times with really bad players in and around the squad. So if we finish up trophyless next season, I'm not even bothered about all the hate or the negativity that goes towards Arteta, because I tell you something now, the Kroenkes are not getting rid of him. And that's good enough for me. That's all I know. That's all I need to know. We could finish 8th next season, and Arteta is going nowhere. I tell you that now. Their Kroenkes will not go good.
Yeah, it would probably be a bit too hasty to try to get rid of him like that if he doesn't deliver in the next season. It is a little bit too hasty, we're kind of jumping the gun a bit, letting our emotions get the best of us. A lot of fans like that. Yeah,
you can understand it though, Dave. You've spent over 700 million. You've spent over 700 million on that. You've had nothing to show for it. You can understand fans' kind of objections to what that man's done.
Yeah,
you know. So when you look at that, that's it. I mean, I can understand State's point of view, and of course, like I hear what you're saying as well. But you got to think the realist. The man that pays his hard-earned wages for a season ticket and stuff like that. As always, all fans want to see their team play well, do well, and I hope you get something out of it. In State's case, Going back to comment, he's actually mentioned the player's name here. Bradley Ibrahim, that's the one.
DH Gate in there. DH Gate sales now are going to rocket, man, after this. What we do is we'll get a package, a bumper package of West Ham and Arsenal jerseys. We get it delivered to Stape.
The more you buy, the price and have a beer as well.
What's that?
Because it's like one of them, like Alibaba's website. So it's one of them kind of websites. So if I wanted to buy one of these, it comes at the price it's on the screen. If I wanted to buy 10 of them, I then get it for about £2-3 cheaper each shirt. So you're saving a hell of a lot of money.
That's crazy. That is a nice jersey, though. And they have everything. I'm sure they have every single thing. They have everything for every club.
Yeah. Like I was saying, when you went
have the bubbles as well.
I couldn't get a Sampdoria top anyway, and I wanted a retro one. I wanted one from when it was 1990. It was the European Cup final that was played at Wembley, Barcelona, Sampdoria, and Pep played in it as well. Pep played for Barcelona then. And I wanted the Sampdoria jersey from that season, and I got it off a DH game. Took some digging still, because like you say, you have to find the right company. But
because they're different quality. Like my Yeezys, my fake Yeezys.
I think DG's you're getting your commission on DG anyway. Put it that way, Stapes. Just seeing coming through here. Apparently, this is interesting. Voice Fan TV, one of the YouTube channels, and it's just putting on their stream. Alexis Sanchez is joining Nottingham Forest.
Wow.
We'll see them at the first game of the season, huh? We'll see him at the first game of the season.
To come back, didn't he? He asked Arteta to come back. But Arteta said no. He's a free agent.
I can't believe that Zaha left. Zaha went out to Saudi as well, wasn't it?
No, he went to
Galatasaray.
I got a Galatasaray. That's right.
Galatasaray, I think it's a 3-year deal, and he's gone on he left on a 3.
Great player, right? Great player. Now he looks happy. Happy out, man. All right, Steve. Agreed, Stapes. They will keep him. Yeah, they want a bit of stability maybe for Arteta for a couple of years, but let's see. Hopefully we can do something. Yeah, the new season is going to be tougher, though. I mean, I have to agree with that. You don't allow somebody to change the mentality and culture like they have if they have not here for the long yards. Is he the next Wenger, as in how long he will stay? Stapes is convinced he's going to stay 24 years or something like that.
I think
I'll be pushing up daisies at that point.
I think he'll outlast Wenger. I think the only reason he doesn't outlast Wenger is if Barcelona come knocking. He don't turn that down for me.
Yeah. If another club come in for him, yeah.
I only see it as Barcelona because he's from that. He's from that academy, isn't he? With Pep and all of them.
Yeah,
so,
that's right.
If they come in now, I don't think he would go. I think he's got unfinished business at Arsenal, and I do see him here for at least the next 4 to 5 years. And then if we get the 2 major trophies that we've been wanting for so long, if we get them in that period with Arteta at the helm, and then Barcelona come knocking here and walk away thinking, I've done it. You know what I mean? I've done all I can at Arsenal. I'll go for a new challenge. But under the Kroenkes, unless they're bought out, I don't see them ever sacking Arteta. I don't. It's going to take something big for them to actually push the button on him.
Yeah. I'd have to agree with that. Yeah, he seems to be kind of like he's kind of ready-made for the club, former player. And like I said, he gets on well with the owners. They're not going to be quick to push him out. To be honest, what managers are out there. I mean, I know there's a lot of managers floating around. You know what I mean? Pochettino now and this and that. You know, other teams that get coaches in. United got Ten Hag. He seems to be a very good coach for me. Asshole in my opinion, but he seems to be a good football coach. You know what I mean? But he's a muppet. Now there's nothing I like about Ten Hag. I couldn't think one good thing. Ten Hag just gets under my skin man the whole time. But look, he seems to be a good coach. He's got United firing. Finally, the Ole Gunnar Solskjaer incident. You remember that when they had him as coach? Ole's at the wheel. Jesus almighty. I was hoping that was going to stay for the next 20 years. He was going to do a Wenger on it. But Jesus, they were 1 minute they were firing, the next minute they were crap. That was good fun. But yeah, Scott Kirk, no Tony Reilly. It would be hard to replace Arteta, though. I don't know. There's not many. I don't know about like if he was going to go at some point anyway. If he does go to Barca or somewhere at some point, we need someone else lined up.
That's the other thing I look at, Dave, as well. Like, if you're going to get rid of Arteta, who do you bring in? You know what I mean? There isn't to continue his work and advance it. You know what I mean? The only one out there that would advance on his current work that he's done right now, for me, is Pep. And Pep is not going to join any other English club once he's finished at Man City. Yeah. So that's a no-go way. So who takes over from Arteta and who's on the market? There isn't anyone. So I get every Arsenal fan has their right to voice their opinion on whether they want him, like him, or not. You know what I mean? But give a bit more context to your argument. Tell us who you want to take over, and tell us the reasons why you think it. Because I'm not so sure Ancelotti, if he took over from Arteta, that he would do a good job. We see the shit show at Everton. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he's already got his next job now, so he's no longer on. Once he's finished at Madrid this season, he goes on to Brazil. So there's no Ancelotti. So if you're gonna bring the argument, let's get rid of Arteta. Let's see, bring some context to it where you say this is the right man to take over from Arteta.
Did Serby from Brighton? There you go.
It's a good shout.
Scott Kirk.
One good season.
Scott with the comment there. Serby from brilliant coach.
That's a good shout. It's a good shout. But Arteta's done more than Serby. So I wouldn't be replacing Arteta with De Zerbi right now. But give him another 2 or 3 seasons and say Arteta is shipped out. De Zerbi's a brilliant shout.
What do you think about Conte? Antonio Conte? Would you say
Patrick Vieira, player coach?
No Conte. I said this when he was
Vieira, player coach.
I get the Vieira argument. I get the Thierry Henry argument because they're invincible. I don't know. I think Patrick after Vieira. The way time ended at Palace, he's got to re-erect his career again now. You know what I mean? Yeah. And the job that he's taken now, I don't think will do.
I don't think he will. Yeah. You know, if you look at it, he's had a stab at 2 or 3 clubs. He hasn't really kind of ripped up trees, so I don't think you see Vieira and Henry. When you think about it, he knew his worth. TV punditry, yep, happy days. Being a manager, nah. And he's seen common sense. He knows he's not going to go that way. So fair play to Henry for doing that.
Yeah. And Henry has got a lot of.
We've got Gary Neville. You can take him. He's a manager.
Philip Neville.
He'll never go into it again.
Neville got kicked out of Inter Miami by Beckham, so now Philip Neville is free.
That's sabotage, isn't it? That's sabotage. Imagine the meltdown if one of them 2 are at the helm at Arsenal. That's sabotage. Anytime we lose from you, they're going to say it. You know what I mean?
They'd be spying for Ten Hag. You know what I mean? They'd be setting us up for the fall. Tony, comment from Scott, would you give Jesse Lingard a go again?
No. He burned his bridges. You think we put his career back on the map. He got an England place because of coming back and reignite his career with the Hammers, and then he kind of decided to go to Nottingham Forest. So no, not at all.
I saw
he'll go to Saudi and earn his money and retire.
I saw him play one.
Probably the best
Lingard play. in the Champions League match in Switzerland against Basel. United against Basel. I saw Lingard. I was actually on like the touchline, right by the dugouts, and he was right in front of me, along with Ibrahimovic. He's got pace to burn, man. Lingard is fast. I couldn't believe how fast he was. Like in a blink of an eye, he was gone from one end of the field to the other. Lingard has got pace to burn. He has he is a flyer. Jeez almighty. I was like, who is that? And then I looked at the back of the shirt. I was like, oh, it's Lingard. So quick, man. He's unreal, actually. Pace to burn. Scott Kirk, I see. Obviously, I was insulting him. Obviously, I was saying things about him. You know what I mean? I was trying to pick on him. I wasn't trying to say insult to Ibrahimovic because he will come over. He will have it. You know what I mean? He's a huge guy, man. I see on transfer market that Arsenal has the most expensive squad now. Exactly. No for the treble. No for the treble.
Is it expensive or valuable squad?
Has the most expensive squad.
You're just above Man City on the value of the squad.
Yeah, I think it's value rather than expensive. I think it's the value of the squad, and that's because everyone's been given new contracts, everyone's on long-term deals. So to actually get them out of Arsenal, you're looking. I think Saka, when he signed his deal, he was valued at £170 million.
Yeah.
Just putting pen to paper on that new 4-year contract.
Yeah.
But if 170 was on the table right now, I wouldn't take it. So you can't replace him for me.
Yeah.
He's the best right winger.
Incredible for us last season.
Yeah,
I'm a big fan of Saliba, man. Like, I can't lie, guys. Saliba for me was last season. Oh man.
And that's the thing, like the transfer market, like everyone. Well, no one will forget Maguire went for 80 mil. So if Maguire's gone for 80, how much is Saliba? You know what I mean? It's for me, he's 160. He's double the player Maguire is, that if not more.
Yeah.
So it's only Saudi money that's going to get him.
And they have the money. That's the worrying thing, man. They have the money. Oh no. Oh, they're going to buy Harry Kane.
They're not stupid, are they? They've tied down the younger players because if they are going to sell them on, they're going to make sure they're going to get top dollar for them. So they tie them down to the long contracts, big wages. They're going to make sure they're going to get their money on them. So, fair play in that respects.
The money Lingard got at Forest was criminal. What were Forest thinking?
Yeah, he went for money. It was the absolute stupidest decision he could have ever done because he should have signed for West Ham. They was interested. They re-erected his career for him. He was like scoring goals for fun in that team under Moyes, and to not go there, he still would have got decent money because he was a free agent. He still would have got decent money, but it's just an absolute silly decision by him. And now I think he's a free agent now. I don't believe. I think it was a 1-year deal. So I can't see him signing him back up, and I can't see anyone. I don't know. You might get someone like a Luton, but they're not going to give you. They're not going to give him any top money. Luton need players, but they're not to try and stay in the division.
Yeah,
or give it go, but they're not going to give him top money.
Didn't I see Wrexham beat Man United yesterday? Was I dreaming, or did that actually happen?
Yeah, no, they did. They beat him.
They beat him 3-1.
Yeah, it was, I think it was like their U4 kind of under 21s team. But apparently it was a bit of a nasty old game. Paul Mullin had to come off the pitch. Was suspected collapsed lung. I think it was the keeper came out, clattered him.
Oh,
so, yeah,
Stapes.
He had to come off the game. So yeah.
Stapes, you're evil, man. You see collapsed lung. That is not part of the game, Stapes.
You know that Shaggy song?
Stapes was the goalkeeper back in the day, yeah.
Even though the kick wasn't even up in the air though, Dave.
He wasn't up in the air.
Kind of literally clattered into him that way and took him out.
That is awful, man. A bloody collapsed lung. What? Jesus, boy.
It was an interesting article, because they were saying about when you look at it, how the Glazers have looked after Man United, and how Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney, how they've looked after Wrexham, and saying that the comparison between the two, that there's two people that actually kind of respect the club, the fans, and the community, and then you've got the Glazers. So yeah, that says it all.
Dear, oh dear, oh dear. And what about Spurs, guys? What about this financial situation they find themselves in? Like, I saw it. I came off the stream with you last night, Tony, and honestly, like after I just went to bed, and I got into bed anyway. And you'd be looking at the phone, whatever, the usual thing, And I seen the story come through, and then Stape sent me the links as well. Yeah, but then next minute I'd fallen asleep. I did a video. I did a video this morning about it, yeah, but that whole situation with Spurs, I mean, that could derail everything. Like as I said about, and I did a video, somebody commented, as I said, that could derail Spurs' hopes of the treble, because Spurs have genuine hopes of doing the treble this season in the new season. Now this news could derail all of that. And Kane as well, you know what I mean, being PFA Player of the Year, it could derail all of that. Like Spurs is for title since 1963, is it? But anyway, it could derail all of that. You know what I mean? This news, like they had hopes of actually genuinely landing the treble. Dele Alli's going to come back. The demons are out of the closet. He's a new man. He's going to be back on the field. Poor Dele Alli. Jeez, I actually feel sorry for Dele Alli, man. Sorry, guys, I shouldn't have said that. Poor Dele Alli. He's had a tough time, man. But yeah, Dele Alli to Arsenal, I'd take him. No bother.
No way.
No
way.
Good player, those Papes.
He was.
Get back on it, man.
He was.
He was decent. Man. He was decent.
He just kind of leaned his own up too much. That was the problem. He got too kind of stale. He just got to believe too much in what he was doing.
Yeah. I don't care what anyone says. Amazing things.
They are.
Yeah.
Yeah. Totally
they're good actors as well. They're good actors. The most important thing, yeah, they're good actors. Like in front of the cameras, they're always acting. Yeah. Joking, guys. Imagine that if it was like one big act.
They've done a video with Alex Ferguson, haven't they? The pair of them for the ex Man United game. They actually did a video with Alex Ferguson.
I need to check on all of that stuff. I'm well
it's
off
supposed
the
to be
time.
Quite hilarious by all accounts.
Tony keeping me in the loop, man, and Stave's keeping me in the loop. I need to check that.
That would be a good move for Dele Alli, Wrexham. You know what I mean? That would be a really good move.
Decent player. Not being funny, but who has got a dodgy board at their club? Who hasn't got a dodgy board at their club? Us, Tottenham, Man U, Chelsea have nothing but dodgy money, man. That's just the way things are going. They all kind of just creep in, though. Like, I mean, even the guys that took over at Newcastle now, in the future, you wouldn't know what they'd be. I mean, yeah. I think Newcastle are going to go far in the new season. I really think they're going to do stuff. I think Newcastle will be up there. I don't think they're going to win the league, but I think Newcastle have a good chance. I mean, they were saying now that they're after, I don't know, was somebody winding up or what, but there was a thing like in the news, I saw it come up and it said that they're after replacing Tottenham in the Big Six or something like that. Newcastle are gone up into the Big Six and Tottenham are gone back down. So I read that on the way home earlier and I was like, maybe they are. You know what I mean? I know it was Tottenham they were referring to. Yeah. They didn't say them by name.
A couple of seasons, and they will be. They will be in a couple of seasons' time. I think the good thing, what you look about, when the owners came in and bought Newcastle, everyone's thinking, because obviously they're the richest club on the planet, that, they're going to buy their way into winning the league, etc. But they haven't done that. They're doing, they're actually abiding by the rules. They know the FFP and that they've got to sell players to buy players.
Yeah.
And they're doing it in the right manner. But yeah, give it a couple of seasons and that. Don't be surprised.
And don't be sleeping on Aston Villa either. They're doing some really smart business. So
they are.
Yeah. Keep an eye out for them as well. I'd be a little bit worried about Crystal Palace this season, Titan. I don't know about you, but I've always been one of them that I'd love to see as many London clubs in the Premier League as possible, because although it don't help us having as many, because it's like a derby every week in London then, isn't it? But I wanted QPR to stay up. I wanted Fulham always to stay up. Bit of a yo-yo team they've been, didn't they?
Yeah.
No, I mean, as much as you would hate this, I'd love to see Millwall come up. You know what I mean? Imagine the derbies with them. It'd be
well, they missed out, didn't they? They just missed out on getting promotion, didn't they? Millwall. They were that close to getting into the playoffs, and they just missed out. The last.
Yeah, Diaz at Blackburn ruined them. They was 3-1 up, and in the playoffs at half time on the final day, and then Diaz come out and scored a hat trick, didn't he? ruined them.
See, I mean, I would have. We was linked with Diaz at one point, but we never went for him. So again, I think that was Moyes blocking that because he's a foreign player. But Diaz, I would have definitely
agent to Villarreal as well. Yeah, went to Villarreal. And I'm not one of these free agent. I think he's gone to Villarreal, but he would have been on less money than what West Ham would have paid him. You know what I mean? West Ham would have paid him more to go there. I don't know. When I look at the West Ham team, I think you probably could upgrade at left back. I like Cresswell. I think you could probably upgrade there. Maguire brings your centre backs onto another level. He's an England international, and I don't get all the hate that he gets. You know what I mean? He's under the spotlight a lot more at Man United. You know what I mean? Week in, week out. But I think that'd be a brilliant signing for West Ham. I just feel you're lacking like that 15 to 20 goal a season striker. Antonio's brilliant up there, but the moment you put someone else up there, it's not the same fight. Antonio just walked through brick walls for you, only he does it.
Well, the good thing about it in this pre-season so far is Divan Mbamba. You know, the kid's scored in every single friendly they've played so far, and you know he's got a lot of confidence about him at the moment. Hopefully, he's going to get given the chance. Apparently, David Sullivan has turned around and said to him that we're not looking to loan you out. We want you to kind of so maybe there's a chance he's going to do first team football. The only kind of worrying thing, you know, in friendlies, Moyes has actually played two up top, whereas the last couple of seasons we've always gone with one up top. That's why we lost Haller. That's why we're probably going to lose in Scamacca. And you expected Antonio to do all the business up top on his own when you really needed someone to partner up with him. So in the friendlies, he's played two up top. Yeah, you know, so I don't know. Is he going to carry that on when the season starts? I don't think he will. I think he'll revert back to what he's done.
You've still got Danny Ings, who's proven like he's done it. I know you're in the same league, but for me, it's a lesser level. Southampton and West Ham are on different levels. I know they've gone down now as well, but Ings was banging in goals week in, week out for them. You know what I mean? And if you can get him firing like that, then you then start bordering. You start bordering European football like every season if you get that striker. But that youngster, if I'm right, he scored in the Europa Conference League as well, away from home, didn't he?
He did, yeah.
And in one of the late games as well. So I watched a lot of West Ham last season, and I thought that youngster you're talking about, I think he's ready to be involved in the match day squad week in, week out now, and then he's going to have to make the most of his minutes. So if he's coming off the bench to change a game or keep them out, just hold the ball up and buy free kicks, he's going to have to do all of that. And hopefully it goes well for him because he does look decent.
He is. I mean, you know, because the other player that's, you know, out of the two of them that's kind of mentioned mostly out of them is obviously him and Freddie Potts. So he's you know, looks a decent player, Freddie Potts. So I think he's more midfield. So he's got a chance of actually kind of breaking into the first team squad as well. So they're the two that's kind of hopefully going to be touted as a future.
You got Dans, who was like looked at as one of many replacements for Declan. Like I agree with you can't just buy one player to replace Dex. You're gonna have to do it through a committee of numbers, you know what I mean? So I think Dan's been coming through at West Ham for the last few years. So this might be another like a bigger breakthrough season for him, you know what I mean?
It's a good encouraging thing though, Stapes, because actually, like, you know, as much as what people were saying about Moyes, what he has been doing is making sure that the under 21s, the reserve team, that are actually developing, and we're actually producing players that's going to be coming through. So it's good to see that. You know, there's not many clubs that do that these days, as you know. They always kind of buy in more than anything else. Going back to what Scott said there, and that Douglas Luiz, he probably would be actually. You know, I'd take him. He's still got something about him. I mean, the other player we're looking at is that Eden Alvarez. So we can get him a lot cheaper as well. He looks pretty decent. That's another one we're apparently going to be going in for. But as always, with most of all these rumours, until you see them wearing the shirt and they've signed a bit of paper, that's all they are at the moment. They're just kind of, pie in the sky.
Yeah. They're not actual concrete links. I see that Al Ettifaq, they got Steven Gerrard, they got Jordan Henderson, and now they have Celtic striker Moussa Dembele.
Yeah.
Jesus, boy. Seriously, they're doing something out there. They're not messing around, yeah. They're not playing games. Interesting, man. Interesting.
Well, this
they
is the
got
difference.
two decent
This
players
is
there
the
in the
difference
coach.
when you look at the Chinese league compared to this Saudi league. They're actually buying in younger players as well. Whereas the China league, it was mostly kind of people at the end of their careers. But with this,
but then
they're actually kind of buying a mixture.
There was also a restriction for the China team. Do you remember they could only have 3 overseas players? Right. So, but
it's only as it went on, though, wasn't it, States? It's only as it went on. It wasn't at the beginning. They could sign whoever they want, but as it kind of was bringing more and more, because you got to think, as always, China's a state-owned, so they kind of said, "Hold on, this is not looking good," and then they imposed them into restrictions, and I think that's why we don't hear nothing about the China League anymore because of that.
I always thought Henderson would have taken up the Milner role. Yeah, James Milner back in the day, decent player, but in football, 12 years at the club, that was more Aramat to Man United one to watch. Man United are going for a Fiorentina player, Sofian Aramat. He actually played under Ten Hag before at Utrecht in Holland. Interesting.
He's a good player.
There's a lot of interesting moves going on. Yeah, he looks good. Yeah, he's actually with the Moroccan national team. They actually had a very good World Cup, man. Didn't they get to the semi-final? They were very good.
I believe so.
Excellent team. Have Arsenal concluded their business? Jesus, I hope not. We need a striker. You know what I mean?
It's
Thomas Partey
now, isn't it?
as well, man.
You've got to get
Thomas
people
Partey
out.
Stay as the thing as well, man.
It's evident that he's got to stay. He has to stay. It's very evident that he has to stay.
I see that Man City want to hold on to Kyle Walker. Yeah, it makes sense. He's a great player. You know what I mean? Bayern are sniffing about, but they think they're really confident that they're going to get Harry Kane. I don't understand how Bayern are so confident because they haven't matched nowhere near Spurs' valuation for the player. I don't know how Bayern can be confident. 60 million is nowhere near what they want for him.
Yeah, but you were saying about this old what broke last night with the Spurs owner, the Enoch person.
Yeah, that's right.
He's apparently told. Yeah, he's told Daniel Levy that he's not allowed to leave on a Bosman, Harry Kane. He's not allowed. You have to get something in for him. So if he's not signing a deal, you have to sell him. We need money in. So, I mean, that's music to my ears because I think Spurs are finished without him. I think Spurs, they're finished without him.
Absolutely. Well, you can see Postecoglou in that. He was kind of like, a couple of days ago in that, he had, he didn't know what to say, did he, with what was going on. He didn't want to comment about the situation. Barla Kane's missus was apparently out in Germany looking at houses. So, who knows?
Nice.
And I'm telling you now, that must be right because you can't miss her. She's an elephant.
Who is an elephant? Whose wife is that?
Miss Harry Kane.
She a big bird, huh?
Yeah. And yellow.
That's a good one. Like Big Bird, yeah. All right, let me check. Harry Kane's missus. I'm going to keep it clean, don't worry, everyone.
If I remember rightly, Stapes, isn't it? Is it a childhood sweetheart? They've been married since as a youngster.
Katie Goodland, is it?
In comes that loyalty question again, huh? He's too loyal. Have a bit of ambition.
All right, boy. She's got a bit of that kind of Kate Winslet Titanic thing going on, though. This was maybe when she was a bit slimmer, but she's
Yeah,
got
you
like
need glasses.
seriously. Yeah, I don't know. Has she ballooned or has he traded her in?
Oh no! It's been since day one. That hasn't changed. They've been together since from
It's
school
amazing.
days.
It's amazing. I think what a hairstylist can do.
And Photoshop.
Yeah, got a bit of that. In fairness, she's working with everything she's got anyway. Harry Kane, but he can't catch a break. I mean, Kane actually can't catch a break. Jesus, like I mean, England
couldn't catch a cold.
the last couple of years to winning something, man. Spurs, Champions League final apart, they didn't really have much. Poor Harry Kane can't catch a break, man. Seriously. I hope he wins something with England anyway, because I think that is his best bet if he stays at Spurs. Like that he might do something with this English team. Because I think they have a good chance of winning something. You know what I mean? With the squad they have. They should have won. They should have won something like the World Cup. They were very close. I was watching it in work. Everybody was in the hotel. All the families came in to watch it on the TV. We were all watching it at the end against France. I was screaming and roaring at the TV, of course, urging the team. I'm Irish, but I was urging the team forward. I felt sorry for all the fans watching actually at the end because they were gutted. But I was roaring the team forward, but it wasn't meant to be. Maybe next time, yeah. But with the squad they have and the players they have. A title, they should win something. England should be able to win something with if not Southgate has got to kind of, I don't know. I think the English women's team coach should be the coach of the men's team. I'm not joking. I'm actually serious. People laugh at me when I say that. I'm actually serious when I say that.
That's the thing, though. I actually like Gareth Southgate.
Are you like Southgate? Yeah,
I do. But there's a method to it. Like, he's actually been through tournament football with England. He knew what the sides were missing in terms of an environment, a good environment, when he was a player, and he's implemented good environment and everyone gets along. There's no rivalries no more between the Arsenal, Liverpool, and Man U players. Everyone's bubbly. Everyone gets on.
Lampard Gerrard thing going on.
But some of his substitutions, some of his 11s that he picks are questionable. But what managers ain't? Every fan questions a lineup or the substitution. So I just think he is good for England. However, I don't think he would make a good Premier League manager. As crazy as it sounds, I just don't think he would.
To me, he's too much of a yes man in my eyes. I think with him. Because obviously he was under 21 manager, that's the reason why I think the players gel as they are, because he's learned from that. But actually, as the first team coach, no, we need someone a bit more stronger, a bit more not afraid to pick people from other clubs that have kind of been missed out on opportunities where they've actually played better than some other players. You keep on picking the same old stuff, and what do you get? What is he giving you?
Not the guys that are in form, even, maybe like the form player, not the big name player. Yeah,
but exactly. I mean, I get one thing that Southgate did see that a lot of people don't give him credit for is when Sancho was on form at Borussia Dortmund, he still binned him off at England. Like, he didn't give him. He gave him a chance. He gave him a call up, but thought, nah, exactly what the stats are telling me. You're doing. You can't go past your fullback. You can't beat that final man. You're always coming inside. You're too easy to read. And he binned him off before he went through that spell at Man United and become rubbish.
Yeah.
Southgate, there is a little... But I do get what Scott's saying. Some of his selections are absolute nuts. Like, there's sometimes I'm just like, why would you do that? Like, but...
Look at the last one. He picks Maddison, who's injured, and he never played a single game.
Yeah.
Hoping that the man's going to kind of get recovered.
Miracles do happen, I suppose. He was expecting a miracle, was it? Madison was going to part the Red Sea or something, was it?
What was Hoddle's? What was Hoddle's woman? The faith healer. What was her name?
Eileen Drury. Eileen Drury.
That's the one.
That's the one.
You should have got her in there and let her rub her hand over Madison's leg and it'd been fine.
Glenn Hoddle, man. The things he came out with after that, he got himself in some hot water, man. Yeah, he lost his job. Oof. Fate healer, but like, what about Win the Dog? Maybe he could, like, you know, be kind of Arsenal England, like Win the Dog. Win turns up and he pisses on Southgate's leg. You know what I mean? Maybe that brings good luck, like.
Don't believe these things. Don't believe these notions.
Leg, you know what I mean? Win the Dog cocks his leg. You know
Listen, I got told if a cow licks your head, your hair grows, and it doesn't. Trust me.
I used to have a cow's lick when I was younger. The old fringe. I had the old
what nightclub did you go to, Stapes? That's the question I want to know. What nightclub did you go to?
Where was the cow? Where was this cow?
It was my son's mother.
Jesus, get in there! Fucking rabbit punch right into the ribs, right into the kidneys, mate. That was a good one. Jesus, you could add my ex to that as well, yeah. The hell with them all, mate. Down with this kind of thing. Down with feminism. God damn, this is feminists. Now we're having to go to feminists. Yeah. I know I'm going to get Stapes in trouble again, guys, but have you been watching the Women's World Cup? Stapes is going to get nailed now because of this, because I'm going to drop him in it. But you watching the Lionesses? Yeah.
I've been watching.
Who's your favourites for the tournament? I mean, Brazil or well, Ireland obviously aren't going to win it because they're out. But I mean, who would be your favourites? Like, I mean,
I'll be honest. I watched England against Haiti. Is it?
Oh yeah, Haiti.
Yeah, Haiti. Yeah.
And I thought they were brilliant. Like, not England. I thought the other side were brilliant.
Haiti, yeah.
I thought
every single time.
Yeah, I thought it's quite evident that we're struggling without the likes of Williamson and Beth Mead in the squad. The ACL injuries that killed the Arsenal side last season. And we still done well without them, but the England team, I don't think, because Reece James's sister is in for Beth Mead, and she's not an adequate replacement. There's levels to this, and Beth Mead is on a complete different level, and we're missing her sorely. So, in all fairness, I watched that game and I knew we're not going to win it. I knew we're not going to win this tournament. So I haven't really been paying too much attention, but I did watch New Zealand win 1-0
against Norway.
Yeah, I watched that. I watched the England game, and then I had kind of switched off since then.
Australia, I mean, well, you can't dismiss USA. You know, obviously they're going to be up there with.
They beat Vietnam in their first game. The US, they beat Vietnam pretty comfortably 3-0. I mean,
Australia don't look too bad. They've got something about them as well. They've got, you know. But yeah, I agree. Watching that game when we played Haiti, if you think about it, if Haiti knew how to score, we'd have been put to bed, because I mean the keeper saved, was it 3 or 4 shots they had?
It was only 1-0.
You know.
Yeah,
but that was only a penalty as well.
Just watching the game, we look very like playing with the handbrake on. Yeah. And sometimes I get that the opening game.
Getting cut loose.
Yeah, I get that. The opening game can always be a bit like you don't get your fluidity in, and you grow into the tournament as it goes on. But I just don't see it with this England side. I think there's too many key players out. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I think Kirby's missing as well. If I might be wrong, but I think Kirby's missing as well.
Yeah, she's missing as well. But say, when you look at that game, every time we went forward and we lost the ball, we couldn't keep up with Haiti. They were just kind of burning us for dust.
Do you know, you saying that every time they're number 10, I don't know her name, but every time she got on the ball, she was brilliant. And if you could have got her on the ball in the final third a lot more, and let's be fair, our keeper made a couple of decent saves as well. You know what I mean? But when Haiti should really have scored, but if they were a bit better in the final third,
Mondesir.
Yeah, their number 10 was
on the left hand side. Yeah.
But if they could have got her more central, and she looked dangerous, and it didn't look like any England player wanted to have it with her. You know, she just looked like a level above them all.
Yeah, terrifying.
What's that about, Scott? The government buying all the tickets?
He can't get a ticket to see New Zealand play, is it? Sure, how many people can fit in the stadium? How many people can, for the Argentina match, how many people can fit in the stadium? I mean, what are we talking here, capacity? Like, I mean, do they need so many? I mean, 10,000 would be enough, right? They don't need 10,000.
Yeah, but then we even see at the Emirates last season, like some of the women's games were played there, and they capped the capacity at like 20 and 30,000 for some games because of the policing for them and the stewarding for them. So for safety reasons, they capped like a 60,000 stadium to half capacity.
Yeah.
So maybe I wouldn't imagine they'd have the same problems, but maybe they do. But if you're going to have a big tournament like that in your country, you would facilitate it so that it can be full.
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, definitely.
The maximum. Yeah.
Funny though, Stapes, going back onto the England game, when you think about that, the England players were moaning about the FA not kind of doing the talks about getting paid money and getting the extra money on the bonuses and whatnot. Yeah. Well, after watching that game against Haiti and that, it's a case of, well, I think the FA were justified in not giving them extra if they're going to play like that.
Yeah, but my opinion is not great.
I know you're going to come with
so you get what you bring in. You know what I mean? You know your worth. That's what you should do. If you bring money into the game, then you take exactly what your worth is. Yeah, but
I mean, they're bringing money in, but to expect to be played the same like the England, the men's, they're not up to that level yet.
Yeah, but they actually take a higher percentage than the men's.
I know they do. It's because if you look at it, I mean, now when you think they were banned 50 years, something like that. Women's football was banned for 50 years. Now they started doing it. It's still a slow process. As much as they're bringing in the people, because he's getting promoted and he's been put on telly. You think about it, if it wasn't for Sky money, would they be in the same position? Would any club be in the same position with Sky money?
Look, well, what I would say is because it's very misleading, my argument, is that the English women's team get a higher percentage than the men's do, but they take less money. What I would say going forward is why the women's game is growing and it will continue to grow. Their percentage will drop, but the money they take will get higher. Is what I'm actually, because there's going to be more money thrown into the women's game and more sponsorship deals at these big tournaments, which will mean they will get a lower percentage, but that lower percentage will mean they will take more money because there's more money being put into it. So it's basically the sponsorship money being put in is not enough. And once that does grow, the women's money will grow as well, that they're personally getting from it.
Yeah, I get that. Yeah.
What did you say? The women's football was banned for 50 years.
Apparently so.
What was the point of that? I mean, honestly.
It's the British way, Dave. We don't like women doing what they're supposed to be doing. They're supposed to be indoors.
You mean that? Okay, you mean just in England? Yeah, I thought you meant like worldwide or something. They weren't doing it.
No, I think it was here in England.
That's
why it's it's kind of got the media and everything else behind it. And as Stave said there, it's more and more coming into it. But ironically, when you think the FA turn around and saying that they're going to invest more money into grassroots, well, I haven't seen it come down this way. Grassroots is still poor. I mean, the league, where I live, if you look at the facilities around for these Sunday league teams, it's poor. They're not even. The council can't even afford to have groundsmen open up the changing rooms.
Yeah,
it's mad.
Yeah, they're not reaching everybody. They're not reaching everybody.
No, not at all.
But saying that, the women's football has been going on for, like, in this country for a long, long time. It's just not been taken as serious by the bigger clubs. Because I remember watching footballs when Doncaster Bells were the best team around. You know what I mean? For women's football. And yeah, you used to watch them, and they would be the only team you'd really want to watch as a women's side. But then fast forward 10 years after that, I think Arsenal were the first team to have a women's professional side, you know what I mean? And then everyone started taking it on board and getting involved in it. And to be fair, with the money in the clubs now in the Premier League, you can afford to make your ladies professionals and not have to do jobs outside of football. They can train just like men, like full time, have full time contracts, and turn up just to training to earn their wages and on a match day. They shouldn't be forced to have jobs outside of football.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, definitely. I mean, yeah, they deserve to be given a chance, and it should be fair. They should be supported. I mean, they've come on leaps and bounds. The one that I remember was, I think, was at a World Cup game once I looked at. That's when it started to kind of kick off. USA and Japan, the speed, the way they played in that game, I remember. I think the USA won in the end, of course. Oh, big trouble.
Finally found you.
I think there's a Millwall home game going on down the road.
The police have got a bit of work ahead of them now. But yeah, the speed at which the USA played in that Japan game was what caught the eye for me. I remember I was just shocked at how fast they were playing. Just the sheer speed. You know, it was like a different level to what they had been playing at. Now, women's football had turned the corner then, because I couldn't believe how quick they played. It was unreal how fast they were. Anyway, that's it, man. Ireland's dream is over anyway, unfortunately. They're gone. Out again.
Big up, Luca. Hope you're doing well.
Big up, Luca, man. What's going on with you? Hope you're keeping well. Yeah, keep creating your content, yeah, Luca. You seem to have bounced back from that crap there a couple of weeks ago, and I'm glad to see that, man. Scott Kirk, my daughter used to play football here. They will not invest in the development, sadly. An ex of mine, actually, an ex-girlfriend of mine, when I was in Switzerland, she played with a Swiss league side. Now, obviously, she had a job as well. Like, you know what I mean? It was just like more than a hobby, but she actually got a big break because she managed to secure going to the United States for a year. So she went to, just 1 second, guys, I won't bore you. Let me look at the map here and see exactly where it was. It was on the East Coast. Let me see. Anyway, she went over to the United States. Here we go. She went over to the US, and she actually managed to stay there for a year. And it was like, she was obviously getting educated as well. Yeah. So she was getting taught in the school, but the sports setup in the United States was light years beyond what she had experienced even in a great country like Switzerland. And she was in
1 second, guys.
What the hell is that? For Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire. So she went to New Hampshire. And she was in school there, and actually she was able to train like a full-time player. You know what I mean? Like in Switzerland, that wasn't possible. But in the United States, everything was geared towards getting the absolute maximum out of the player. Yeah? Like if you were basketball, or you liked swimming, or you liked football, the facilities were there for you to actually focus on it. 5 nights a week for 2 or 3 hours after school. You just go to the pitch, and it was there for you. So she came back after that 1 year, and she was a completely different player. I mean, she was unreal. Seriously. Like when she was playing back in the Swiss league, and she was playing as a midfielder. I know she was small, diminutive, but incredibly quick. But her close control that she developed in that 1 year in the United States with regular training, I'm telling you, man, she'd wipe the floor with me. She was just the turn, the pace, and the one touch, all with the left leg. You know what I mean? She would turn, pivot, and just lay the ball off. Control the ball with just one leg, even sometimes, just left, play it out. You'd see her in the league games when she was playing. I was watching a few of them when I first went to Switzerland. So I was watching to see what she got. She'd get it in the middle, and she'd leave 3 of them for dead. They were like, what the... You know what I mean? Her midfield play. So, like, when you get regular training like that, like America is like their football team, yeah, the ladies, they've been dominating for a long time, yeah. Now they're kind of, that generation is being phased out, yeah. But man, they put everything towards it. Like, she had so many opportunities there. You know what I mean? And she liked swimming. So next minute she was on the swim team. And she could train like 5 nights a week with that as well if she wanted after school. Everything is geared towards, like, they're on a different level. You know what I mean? Because she was like...
That's what they invest in it, Dave. That's the thing.
Yeah,
they invest in it.
Well, she came back a much better player, man. A much better player.
See, that,
and the technique,
and that's where we should be.
Control. Brilliant.
Well, you got to think when we did, when we had, Olympics 2020, and it was all of the, and then you heard everyone, when you look at it from the FA, from all the coaching, we're going to invest in these sports. We're going to make sure that we've got the next up and coming stars. Where are they? Nothing was done.
Yeah,
never lived up to what they said they was going to do.
Yeah. But moreover, the problem in my country, I think, is that the players are there, but we have a massive following for the Irish sports. So for the GAA, the Gaelic Athletic Association. So we play Gaelic football and we play hurling. And a lot of the players that could be playing for the national team, both men's and women's, the football team, they rather stay and play the traditional Irish games and be in that code. And they get to a high level, yeah. Like a lot of them in the football, Gaelic football, of course, we play the ball over the hand too, yeah. We pick the ball up.
Yeah.
They go to Aussie rules. They go to Australia and they get professional contracts with Melbourne, whatever, or Sydney, whatever. They go as Aussie rules. So, and they get professional contracts because they're at that level. You know what I mean? They're at a very high level, some of them. So, you know what I mean? That's why we miss out as well, because those sports are huge in my country, yeah. Like the traditional sports, hurling and Gaelic football.
Do you have to be gay to play Gaelic football?
Do you know what? You know what you should do? Go into the stadium on All Ireland final day and go to the pub and repeat it.
No thanks.
Let me know how you get on, yeah. There's tough guys around there playing that game, but yeah, it's you. I don't think so. I don't think that's a prerequisite. Gay? No, I think you can be whatever you want. Animal, vegetable, or mineral, you choose. You know what I mean? It's up to you. You can like whatever you like. But in my experience of that, like especially the Gaelic football, the teams from the north of Ireland, like we play as one country, so the teams from the north are also playing with the teams from the Republic, which is a nice thing. You know what I mean? But the teams from the north definitely play way more physical. I mean, the physicality in their game is just off the scale. Now they can play. I mean, they are extremely skillful. But the physicality that the teams from the north play with is a different level. I mean, a shoulder is not a shoulder. They would bury you with it. I mean, elbow into the ribs. I mean, they are definitely when my city came up against the Northern Irish teams, it was always a physical battle. I mean, ferocious. They are, whoa, man. But that's why the football team is not so good anyway, going off the point there a little bit, because the Irish sports dominate and they take a lot of players from grassroots. You know what I mean? So that affects our football team because we're a small country anyway. A lot of them, they just stick with the Irish sports and they have successful careers. They get good jobs in my city, they get very good jobs. They all are working with the banks. They're working in offices. And when it comes to the summertime, when it comes to the business end of things, they get the time off to train full time before the final. You know what I mean? Or full time before the semi-final. They are given enough time from their jobs because it's like sponsorship as well. They get lots of sponsorship, like everything is linked. It's big business, big money. And like I said, when they're good enough, they go Aussie rules, Australia, and they get professional contracts. So, you know what I mean? Because it's very similar the way we play Gaelic football and Aussie rules. It's very similar. The ball is just oval. That's the only difference.
Yeah, of course.
Makes a bit of a difference. Makes a bit of a difference when you kick it. You don't know where it's going to go. You don't know where it's going to go.
Look at that. Fair play to Scott. I mean, he's done football coaching in Federation 3 Soccer out in New Zealand. Well done, mate. It's good to see him. Set up a Mark John Jones. He played for Birmingham. Yeah. He running off for the money and the wages. Yeah, it's good. Well done, mate.
It was set up by Mark Young-Jones, who played for Birmingham and Kidderminster. He ended up running off with the money, wages, etc. Yeah, bit like Stapes. That's something Stapes would do. Beckham FC.
Del Boy, I should have had my Del Boy hat on when you said that.
Yeah. Hat scarves and headbands. He'd be selling the DHK jerseys. Henry Ray Baker. Henry Ray Baker's back again.
Get a stool outside the Emirates.
How you doing, Henry?
That's it, man.
If you go back to that
man.
comment from Scott about Craig Johnson, he designed the Adidas Predator boots. Yeah. Now, they were £120 at the time. And one of my players from the team that I run, his old man, cut up a bit of rubber off of an old tyre and glued it to his football boot. And basically, all the players were kind of ribbing him. What the hell you got there, kind of thing. Well, I couldn't afford, the first game he played in them, he got the ball at the halfway line, pinged this ball, top left-hand corner from 80 yards there, kind of thing. The players just kind of had to eat their words there and then, basically. But yeah, I remember that. Yeah, but Craig Johnson, I don't know if you ever watched it, Stapes, how he kind of honed his skills. His old man made him play with a tennis ball.
No.
And that's how he developed his skills. I think he even went to a ping pong at one point. But yeah, he was a great player. I agree with Henry there. He was a great player.
Craig Johnson.
Yeah.
Who did he play for? Ex-Liverpool. I can't picture him for some reason. And that's frustrating. What year?
Cool, blimey. I suppose we'll be looking at 70s.
Was that
80s?
80s?
Henry would probably be able to tell us that. I think it's 70s or 80s. Henry will tell us, I think. He would know. But, yeah, I remember seeing him design this Adidas boot. But yeah, at the time, £120 a pop.
Yeah, I remember.
When one of the players first got them. Yeah, 1980s, Henry's saying. Yeah, I thought it was around about the 80s. But yeah. It was his old man that made him develop his skills. Like I said, he just kind of, to get rid of the football and that. There's a tennis ball. Start kicking that around.
All right, I'm back again. Sorry about that. Thanks for keeping my channel alive, guys. I appreciate it.
We'll take care of what was off, Dave. Don't worry about that.
Let's see. Headlong here from Oz. Headlong here and from Oz think he's a player in the late 80s. Yes, played for the Scots. Anyway, predictions for the Barcelona game. I don't know, Tony, you're a West Ham fan, but predictions for the Barca game. I mean, I think it's going to end in probably a draw after full time. I don't think it's going to. Hopefully, we'll get something out of it. Yeah, but yeah, my prediction, I think, is going to end up in a score draw, 1-1, 2-2, all going well. Anthony Herbert, 2-2. Yeah, I think hopefully, man. Hopefully we won't get
I don't know, because because Barcelona were struck down with illness and there was question marks whether the game would go ahead.
That's right.
I don't think they've been able to train much. I think they're well off it in terms of fitness wise. In all fairness, a draw is a bit like a defeat, and it's not like a must win. I'm more on the performance, and I want to see, like I said earlier, I want to see him starting players for the first hour with the Forest game in mind. You're 11 for that game. Starting with him for the first hour.
Going into the first league game, facing up against Alexis Sanchez.
That's what we had this time in pre-season last year. We had a settled 11 for at least the first hour, and then we started mixing it up a bit. And this year it's not been like that. So. And Zinchenko hasn't trained, so I don't want to see Tomiyasu at left back. I want to see Kivior or KT there. But depending on who starts at left back, depends on who you start at right back. For instance, if Kivior starts, then it's got to be Ben White. But if KT starts, then you have to do Timber, because Timber's going to be the inverted. Because KT can't do it. We've seen it. KT can't do it. So you're going to need one of your fullbacks to invert. So Timber's going to have to start if KT starts. So it's about partnerships and building relationships. I do want to see the party Rice for the first time from the off.
Yeah. Scott Kirk is very
Do you think you
confident
rotate on that
he's going to
situation?
pocket Lewandowski.
Sorry, Tony?
But do you think Arteta's going to rotate on these things with like Odegaard, Rice, Havertz, Party until he kind of finds the right formula? You think he's going to do that for the first couple of games?
I listening to his interview, he said it's giving the new players as many minutes as he can to build that relationship up and build their knowledge of how he wants the system to work. But I feel sometimes like Odegaard has to be in from the start, and so does Partey. So then I feel like Rice and Havertz, there's only one position for them to go for, and that's the old Xhaka role. And that's how they need to build their relationship up in understanding the system. And so only one of them can start for me. I honestly, when I think about the window, I think January, just like last January, the 3 players we brought in then are going to be more pivotal than the players we've brought in this summer. I feel like Kivior, Trossard, and who else did we bring in last January? Kivior, Trossard, Jorginho. I feel them 3 are going to be more pivotal at the start of this season than Havertz, Rice, and Timber is. I feel last January's signings are going to be more pivotal to the start of this season than our new ones. He kind of has to do what Pep does and take them out the limelight, let them understand the system, and then bring them in. And I know Pep got a lot of stick for Grealish paying 100 mil for him, and he hardly kicked a ball in the first season. But then, how good was Grealish last season? So you kind of have to just mold them in slowly.
Well, this is the reason, when I think I said to Dave yesterday, when you look at like the Rice thing, going to City, in my eyes, would have been the better choice because it would have improved him as a player. And people were saying, well, he wouldn't have get game time because of what Pep. But like you just said, with Grealish, the first season, how he got a look in. Last season, that's when he came into his own. And you saw what Grealish can do. And it'd be the same with Rice, basically. Whereas with you guys, he'll get continuous football because guarantee that's going to happen. But is he going to actually improve there? He's going to learn to play your style of football the way you do things. But I don't see any kind of progression in that respects. It'll just be, it'll just kind of fit in with your style of play.
The only way I can differ that, I don't know, the only way I can differ that argument you put forward there is when Arteta left Man City to come in at Arsenal, the amount of Man City players that individually had interviews saying how much Arteta improved their game. Even De Bruyne mentioned it. Sterling mentioned it. There's so many of them that said that Arteta improved their game.
It wasn't just Pep. It wasn't just Pep.
Yeah, and Pep said it as well. But so many individual players in that City squad said Arteta is going to be a big loss because he improved their games, and you don't get to see it because it's all done on the training pitch. So. And then listening to Declan Rice today, he said when he sat down and spoke to Arteta, and the way Arteta said that he's got levels to go, he just needs to understand the system, and he will grow naturally into them levels. So the jury's kind of out on that. I'm not going back on what you said there, Tone, because it is a valid argument. You know what I mean? I'm not with what I said there. I'm not putting Arteta on Pep's level, but what I am saying is, coming from what the Man City players said, Arteta has improved their game. So, and he has taken the Arsenal team onto another level since last season. Every year it's been improving in the league. So, but now the big thing for Arteta, although I say no team has a God-given right to win a trophy, he has to win something in the next couple of years. I said that to you, Dave, didn't I? I said the next 2 years are pivotal because he's made Saliba and Saka sign new deals.
Yeah.
But they're only 4-year deals. So in 2 years' time, they're going to be negotiating again. If there's no trophies, no big ones, they're going to be kind of wanting to know, where are we really going? Because you said this 2 years ago and we've not done nothing.
Yeah. You said it also when you were posting on the WhatsApp group. I think like a few days ago, you were posting on the WhatsApp group. And then you remember Andre, drawn by Dre. He was kind of saying like, no, Arteta needs to win something, this season coming. And you said, yeah, but that's actually what I'm saying. You know what I mean? He needs to be given time, but in the next couple of seasons, he needs to actually win a major trophy. So you have been saying that, you have been saying that, and
but it's not just win like the Premier League, because it's so hard, and it's going to be even harder this season because Liverpool are going to be back and stronger. Chelsea will be back and stronger, playing one game a week. Don't sleep on Tottenham. As much as I don't want to say that, you know what I mean? But Spurs, I didn't realise how many good players they had out on loan that have got back in their squad, and they're only playing one game a week. So if they do keep hold of Harry Kane, they are a threat to that top 4 or 5 finish. So it is going to be a much harder league to go to get, because when you look at the top 6 and how we performed against them, I think it was only City that we didn't get a win against. Every other team we got a win against. You know, and away from home as well. We won away at Newcastle, we won away at Chelsea, Spurs, you know, teams that we haven't won away at for years, you know what I mean? So apart from Chelsea, because they're 6 points on our fixture list every season now, and Tottenham, but it's just he's improved.
The Newcastle game. Sorry, mate, I interrupted there. I mean, the Newcastle game, I was quite surprised with that, because when you look at it, Newcastle's home form at the time was kind of virtually unblemished kind of thing. So it was literally the case of like, well, that's easy 3 points for Newcastle. And for some reason, they kind of went into a shell. And Arsenal kind of actually won the game, and rightly won the game 2-0.
Yeah.
But the problem was the game after. And, as you know full well, it's about being consistent. It's about being consistent. To kind of get all hyped up over that Newcastle game and then come into the next one and just.
What was the one after? Was it Brighton? Was it Brighton?
Yeah.
Yeah, but then even the Newcastle game, if you look at the Newcastle game, and this is what's going to happen, you're going to have to do this at difficult stadiums, because it's not just the top 6 that are difficult. I'm telling you, if you play any of the teams in the Premier League on a weekday under the lights at their ground, it's difficult. You may as well be away at Anfield on a Saturday afternoon. If you're going to play at West Ham on a Wednesday night under the lights, because it's going to be so difficult. You know what I mean? So, and then you go back to that Newcastle game that you highlighted. They come out the blocks against us. I remember a Ramsdale save from Willock. I remember after a minute they hit the post, and the penalty was given and overturned by VAR. We had to weather a storm. So in these kind of games, you're gonna, regardless of how good your players are, you're gonna have to weather a storm and then implement your style, grow into the game.
Yeah,
I agree on that.
That's true. Yeah. It's not always going to be.
I remember years ago. I think, who is it now? Allardyce was manager of Bolton at the time, I think it was. And you was flying, and all of a sudden you come to Bolton, and I don't think you could handle Bolton. Bolton won the game, and whatever Allardyce done, he must have recorded it, because I think he played Derby next, and they played exactly the same way as what Bolton did, and they got a result out of you again. So yeah, it's one of those, isn't it? I mean, as you said, the lower teams, they are going to give you more competition. I mean, you saw that with Southampton. That was another one where you think it's an easy 3-pointer, and they come back into the game.
And that night when they actually bossed us that night in the midfield, that Lavia was brilliant that night. And it wasn't until they were 3-1 up and took him off that we got back into the game.
88 minutes.
And they took him off and thinking the game was done. And we nearly nicked it in the end. Trossard hit the crossbar, didn't he? But
cracking shot.
I still think it would have been too little, too late.
Definitely. And this is the reason why Southampton got relegated, because as you said, a 3-1 lead, they just played you off the park at that point. And really, if they had a little bit of form about them, it would have stayed like that, and that would have definitely damaged your challenge at that point.
The Arsenal defending in that game was like right from the start. It was just, whoa, man. I mean, too much space in behind. Walcott's got pace, exposed it. You know what I mean? He was coming in off the flank, making these good runs.
Same against
One
us,
ball,
didn't
two,
you,
he was in.
Yeah. No, so you did exactly the same against us. You was 2-0 up. That defensive error. Byron latched onto it and that bang. Thank you very much. And funny enough, like the States said there, you had a chance of winning the game against Southampton. But when you look at the games, Southampton, us, Liverpool, and us, I still say it. You were very lucky to walk away with 3 points from those 3 games, because Liverpool should have scored at the end.
Yeah. Ramsdale saved us.
And we should have scored against you. Just unfortunately, Antonio had 50 pence head on that
the bar. I think Antonio clipped the bar.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. Like, football is all about opinions. Like, and you're so right with what you say. You're so right with what you say, Tony.
West Ham are a lucky team and all round. You know what I mean?
Yeah, when you add a little bit of context,
Tony.
If Saka puts his penalty away at West Ham, like, it's good night. You know what I mean? And then
that's it.
The Southampton one, the Southampton and Brighton one, I've got no excuses to add any context to them games, because we were by far the second best team in them games. But Liverpool, we were the better team. And then second half, we wasn't. We was way off it. But the method to Arteta's madness was like, if you're going to attack us in these waves, and if I leave Saka and Martinelli on the pitch, we'll get a chance. And lo and behold, we had that chance right on the whistle, but the pass was not right. Now, if that pass was right, we're in, and then it's over. You know what I mean? We win the game 3-2, but it's one of them. Like, we could have lost it 5-2 because the way Liverpool attacked and the saves Ramsdale made.
Pressure.
So I mean, it's one of them. It's them big games, them end-to-end games, them basketball matches. They're brilliant.
Well, you think the Liverpool game and that, you had Anfield silenced. Yeah, you had that ground silenced. And then, of course...
Don't bring up the Xhaka moment, please.
You got done, I think was it the week before? The week before that, there was comments about, how the team and even Arteta, how they kind of conducted themselves against opposition, and they were warned over their conduct. So Arteta said, "Oh yeah, I've had words with the boys, and we're going to make sure. I've even made sure that I'm going to be a lot better on the sideline." And then, yes, Slapes. Unfortunately, I'm going to mention his name. Xhaka then got that stick, and he poked that bear, and then before you know it, Anfield was alive again.
Yeah, but I still think, with or without that happening, I still think you're going to get that reaction from Liverpool in the second half shooting at the Kop. If you're 2-0 down from the first half, any Liverpool side shooting at the Kop second half is going to give you that reaction. The best thing to do for away teams, and I hate it when teams come to the Emirates and do this, right? But the best thing to do as an away team going to Anfield is be on it from the off. And the only way for me that a big team goes there and gets a result is you win the toss for kickoff and you spin them round. Make them shoot at the Kop end first. Don't let them have that second half at the Kop, because you're asking for trouble. You have to spin them round.
It's the 12th man, isn't it, straight away?
They suck that ball in the back of the net, so you have to spin them round. And Jose Mourinho used to do that in his first spell at Chelsea. He always told JT when he won the toss, spin them round. Don't let them shoot at their home end in the second half. Spin them round.
But Xhaka, going back to that, he had a habit of always kind of like antagonizing, especially in the most sensitive of situations. Like when I was living over in Switzerland, they beat Serbia in a qualifier, I think, for the Euros or for the World Cup. They came from behind and they beat Serbia. I think it was Shaqiri scored one of the goals. No, Shaqiri is Albanian and Xhaka is Albanian. And then the rest of the team were mainly Swiss. Yeah, guys like Lichtsteiner. Remember Lichtsteiner at Arsenal?
Can't forget.
Now, he was buddy with Xhaka at this time because they were both at the club, both at Arsenal. So what happened was Switzerland came from behind. They beat Serbia, okay? Now, the aggro between Albania and Serbia, what do the boys start doing then? Xhaka does the Albanian Adler. You know what I mean? Now, that could have sparked an absolute riot among the fans because they have history. Yeah. Lichtsteiner comes over and he does the Adler. Lichtsteiner is Swiss. I mean, what the hell? I mean, Xhaka is the most. I mean, they could have been killed in that game.
Yeah.
Like if the Serbian players had wanted, they could have kicked the crap out of him. Like I would have went for it if someone antagonized me like that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Xhaka's got
mad what
no. I
sets.
mean, honestly,
it's-
man.
You have to know the
Cross
history
line
about
time
them
and time
because
again.
I wouldn't have known anything about that unless you said it. But the
Nuts.
only thing that sort of resonated with me when you said that is I remember Paul Gascoigne doing something in a Rangers shirt to Celtic fans.
Yeah,
That
he
really,
played.
yeah, and it went off like, yeah,
Yeah, that's right there.
yeah, and it went off the next day in the press, like, yeah,
He got a
yeah.
warning from the police over there.
Well, that's like, was it Graham Souness when he played? Was it when he managed with Galatasaray or Besiktas when he got the old flag and put it in the centre of the pitch?
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
Jeez.
Anyway, Xhaka, bye. Sometimes I don't know what be going on with him. Anyway, there you go. But he's at Leverkusen now. I think who are playing Leverkusen soon? We were looking. Is it West Ham? Are you playing Leverkusen?
Yes.
That's right. They're going to be up against Xhaka.
When is that? When is that?
Let's have a look.
I want to watch that game.
I want to see how Xhaka does, is it?
I want to see what role he's played. Right, unless they're playing the same system as us, I don't see him doing
on Saturday. Saturday.
Is it a Saturday?
Yeah, 12:30. Past midday. Yeah, Saturday, 5th of August. Yep.
Yeah.
I don't think it's this Saturday though, yeah? No, I don't think it's this Saturday. I think it's the Saturday after. 5th of August, anyway.
That'll be next Saturday, then the Saturday after.
Yeah, the Saturday after.
Are you gonna do your predicted lineup for tonight, or what you want to see?
Me, my predicted lineup.
Mm.
Jesus, I'm never good at things like this. Anyone in goal anyway. But Ramsdale. I'm only joking. Yeah, Ramsdale in goal.
Manny won't be happy with that. He'd rather play.
He doesn't like him at all, man. Let's see, Ramsdale in goal.
I was trying to wind him up in the chat yesterday when you two were on stream. I was trying to wind him up. I said Ramsdale signing a 10-year deal, yeah.
Yeah. Trying to get him going, huh? He doesn't rate him at all, though. He doesn't rate Aaron Ramsdale at all. I think Ramsdale's all right, man. He's got things he needs to improve on, but I think he's all right. You know what I mean? Seriously.
He's shot stopping.
Right, guys, I'm gonna go now myself because I've got to get up in the morning.
Sleep well, eh? Thanks for joining the stream, anyway.
No, thanks,
no problem, man.
No
problem, man.
Good chat. It's been good.
Thank you for yesterday. Yesterday was also a good one, man. Thanks, man.
Yeah, it was good, mate.
And take care, yeah.
And and you too as well. And
sleep well, eh?
Remember, try and sleep well because you never. Tomorrow could be a bad day. You never know.
We could be licking our wounds. We could have a couple of nightmares.
5 hours from kickoff.
Yeah.
Oh man, yeah. The nerves are jangling. My knees are shaking.
Right, guys, take care. See you soon.
You later, man.
You too, mate. See you later.
Take care in the chat, and you as well.
See you, man.
Scott's gone. Scott's gone early. Who's he gone? Turner. I don't think Turner's with us, Scott. I don't think he's out there with us, is he? He's with the American team still, isn't he?
Turner, KT, Gabby, I would play. Obviously, I'm going to play Ramsdale, but I believe what you said. We need to get a bit of continuity in the team anyway, heading into the first league game. Let's get that 11. Let's get it sorted. Let's have the team we want. KT, Gabby, Saliba, Timber. I would go along with that. Rice, Party, Odegaard. I would go along with that. Martinelli, Jesus, Saka. I actually would. It's just except for the goalkeeper. Yeah, I would have Ramsdale.
Yeah, well, Turner's not with him, so I don't think. Unless he's joined up with him now and cut his holiday short. I think he's right in terms of KT. If you're playing KT, you have to play Timber.
Mm-hmm.
But I want to see Kivior and Ben White against Forest. So
yeah.
That's why I would be playing Kivior and Ben White. And then that also begs the question: do you play Rice or Havertz? Because Kivior can come in and see if we can get something out of the Havertz. You know what I mean?
There's a lot of. I would start with Rice, but I know what you're saying. If it's Kivior and Havertz, but I would start with Declan Rice, of course.
Yeah, I think I would as well. I think I would as well. But there's for me, Rice and Havertz can only be in that Xhaka role right now. Party
that's
has
the
to
thing.
start
I
unless
don't
there's
think we
any problems.
actually. Yeah, I don't know. Do we have any other friendlies lined up when they come back to England? I mean, because they actually need a couple of maybe behind closed doors. They're going to play a couple of training matches, yeah. But they actually need to have a look at what you're saying with Kivior and with Havertz. Then they need to have a look with Thomas Partey and Declan Rice. They need to try all the variables before the season starts. So Arteta has some idea, because the only way to figure out is it going to work. You can't look at it on paper. You need to see them actually play and see, is it going to actually, can they combine? We need to get all that. We need to get all that ironed out before the season starts.
Yeah, because otherwise, we've had 3 games so far, and we ain't seen that sort of combination. And I think that we've wasted them 3 games in not seeing that combination, and now we're left with Barca, Monaco, then Charity Shield against Man City. I think that's right.
Yeah,
So
that's right.
I think we have Barca now, and then Monaco at the Emirates for the Emirates Cup.
Yeah,
and then we kick off against Man City in the Charity Shield. So you don't want to be going into the Man City game experimenting, because
we want to win a
yeah.
title. It's a title of some sort. It's a shield. We want to win it.
Yeah, but they're well-oiled machines, so you don't want to be trying stuff out against them. You want to be going.
They haven't had as many changes, as us. They're
yeah. So
more
that's
or less
why I'm looking. That's why I look at tonight's game, or in the morning, wherever you want to see it, against Barca. I'm looking at the first hour being what he has in mind to start against Forest, and then the same against Monaco. You can't leave it to the Monaco game going into the City. Yeah, I think it's pointless. You need to start doing it now.
Yeah, I think you're right, because we need that stability, and we need to know exactly what's going to happen, and we need that continuity, that the players actually can look around and just play the pass and know the other player's going to be there. We need this we need that kind of understanding and cohesion. Like, if there's no cohesion, like against United, there was no cohesion. I mean, it was just disjointed. As much as they pressed us, as much as they were physical, we were just going through the motions. It was like, and there was no response. We couldn't turn it up a gear. When we needed to respond, like I said, KT was the one guy that looked like he was actually up for a scrap. We couldn't like if you don't start off at the high intensity level, it's very hard then suddenly to pick it up. And like I said, especially when they had us boxed in. They had us, and they knew they had us. They had us boxed in. We couldn't pick it up then. When you start off at a high intensity, you see you're already at that level, and you start off in the right vein. But when you start off like we did, it was hard to just pick
that was a lot with how we started last season as well. What you say there with the high intensity, the way we started games, we was already 1 up early doors. We'd always constantly get that early goal that set us in good stead going forward, and that first goal is always crucial. So it's not so much in the pre-season friendlies, but it does help with the way you intend the outlook on the game, and the way you're going to change it, the way you're going to change the whole 11 after the hour mark. So it does. It's a lot to change the 11 being a goal down after an hour to try and get back into it. It was always going to be an uphill struggle, but it's more performance. I'm not really bothered about the result. As long as we can go in creating chances. If we've missed chances, fine. That can be rectified on a training pitch. Do them on shooting drills and whatnot, ready for the season. But it's performance. I want to dominate the ball. I know it's Barcelona we're playing, but it's not the Barcelona of Xavi and Iniesta. I want to get on the ball. I want to dominate the game. So that's what I'll be looking at. And
that the chances are created. That we create chances. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because like you said, that can be rectified on the training ground, but the chances need to be created.
Even against United, Martinelli had that double chance to put us 1 up, and he didn't. And then within 5 minutes, we're a goal down. So it does. Chances do change games. You know what I mean?
It hinges on things. It dictates. It hinges on things. It's
And
interesting.
one thing I've noticed with Ten Hag over the last season is you don't want to be going a goal down to him because he will sit his men behind the ball and pick you off on the counter. That seems to be tactic. So, and he's very good at doing it. So we've got them very early in the season at our place, and we don't need to be losing that first goal in the
I
Man
think
United
fourth game in,
Really
fourth
hard.
match.
Yeah, it'd be really
And
hard.
they're going to play well at the Emirates. They always tend to turn up and play well at the Emirates. They do. I mean, you wouldn't think sometimes that they are the home team. I think we should just cede a little bit of possession to them. I mean, we don't need to dominate the possession fully, but when we get it, rapier thrust straight through the middle. You know what I mean? Cut it out wide and just tear them apart. We did well against them, man, when we won that game on our way to, when we made the title push. The second half, the last 20 minutes, the pressure we put them under, Stapes, the pressure we applied, we were recycling the ball the whole time.
Yeah.
Okay, maybe the ball broke for Nketiah and he managed to get out. He managed to deflect it past the hair. Remember when the ball kind of broke to him? He managed to get a foot on it and just take it past the goalie. But we deserved it. The pressure we put them under in that game, we blocked them in. They couldn't break out. And we were constantly, it was like phase after phase after phase after phase. Running.
And we went a goal down in that as well.
We did well in that game, man. I was
watching. We went a goal down in that. And it surprised me more because I said you don't want to lose the first goal to United. Then they went up, one up through a Rashford strike.
I remember.
We replied really quickly with an Eddie header at the back stick, didn't we?
Brilliant one, a brilliant one.
Yeah.
And Saka, then it was the Saka show for a while. He was running riot against him. He was giving Shaw all kinds of problems.
So again, I looked at that battle the other night when we played United, and I thought Shaw won that battle. I thought Shaw done really well against Saka.
He was physical, huh? The whole team were physical. And he's a good player. He's got a bit of drive in him. He was coming up with the ball as well. He wasn't just passing it and letting someone else take it on. When he got the ball, he was driving forward. They were all pushing forward. The whole team were driving forward.
You just have to give credit when it's due. You know what I mean? They were the better side.
Best team won the game, right? But can you explain something to me? What is if I asked you this already, let me know, but what was the story with the penalty shootout then? I mean, is that just for the American audience or what? I mean, because the game was done. It was 2-0, 90 minutes. Match was
it's not just for the American audience. No, it's not. They've been doing this to try and you can take penalties all day long in training, and you don't get the feel of real in-game atmosphere while you're training penalties. Well, now in these games, in these friendly games, they've been agreeing to taking penalties at the end of the games so that you get that experience of training penalties inside of a packed stadium. And we did it after the World Cup. So when the World Cup was on and we was in the warm weather training, and we played AC Milan and I think Lyon, and Carl Hen was in goal, and he made his name as a penalty stopper. He was doing really well with the penalty saves because both Ramsdale and Turner are at the World Cup. So Carl Hen was in goal, and he done really well, and we won the shootouts with him in goal. So just the idea around it is to get that training in a full house, you know what I mean? Rather than just on a training pitch. You can't recreate the stadium pressure, can you? But regardless of result, you get the training in with this.
Yeah. Extra practice, extra training. I mean, it'll stand to them as well. We lost that as well, of course, but it doesn't matter. Like you said, it was the training. I mean, Vieira's penalty wasn't the best, but I'm sure the next time he'll hit the target. You know what I mean? He's skied it, but it happens. It happens.
I felt really sorry for him, Dave, because there's many people like me and you don't think he's going to make the cut, and you just think you don't need no more pressure on your shoulders, lad. Make sure it hits the back of the net, and he ballooned it, and then he looked straight at the penalty spot like all players do, and I'm thinking it wasn't. It was your technique. You just completely got underneath the ball and ballooned it.
Yeah, and it's confidence as well, I think. It's a confidence game because he hasn't found his feet. He hasn't had the opportunity to play enough to kind of, I don't know. And like when he hit it, it was like he ballooned it over, but it was still like almost like it went over kind of lame. He kind of didn't get the full, it was like he just kind of punted it. You know, it wasn't blasted over with everything he had and he narrowly missed. He didn't wrap it. You know what I mean? It was like lamely going over the bar and like, oh man, I mean, like, you know, if he hit it with too much power, I mean, there's one thing, but he just kind of.
I was always told to with penalties, because I never used to like taking them, but because I was in goal, sometimes it can come back round to the goalkeeper.
Yeah,
I was forced to train on penalties for that very reason, if it does ever happen. And I always went for power, and the coach said, don't do that, because you've got every chance of it going wide or over. Just always put it on target. You've got to ask the question of the keeper. Yeah, you've always got to ask the question of the keeper. So if you put it on target, you're asking him a question: can you save it or not?
And low.
And if he guesses,
you know what I mean?
yeah, but if he guesses and he guesses the wrong way, then he's not answered the question. You know what I mean? So always put it on target. It could be a P roller, but if it's on target, you're asking a question of the keeper. So they'll never be afraid to have it saved. It's better you having the keeper save it than it being ballooned over the bar, hitting the post, or going
more
wide. Just
technique
make
and
sure it's
actually
on target.
accuracy. Like place it into the corner, you know. Just put it into the corner and put it low.
It's hard. It's hard. They say it's better higher corner, because then it's hard for the keeper to get to.
Yeah.
Like low corners,
like Del Piero, like an Alessandro Del Piero penalty. Just you know, he used to put in the penalties just like he put in the free kicks. You know, he used to just rifle it into the top corner.
I honestly think the best penalty taker at Arsenal has just left the club, and that's Maitland-Niles. He was so cool,
yeah,
so cool when he stepped up. You know what I mean? But
confident, calm.
Yeah, we lost him there.
It's always though, like when you see them walk up, they put the ball down once and then they take it. It's when the guy puts the ball down once and then he starts moving it. You know, like you put it down where you want it the first time and it's down, then you take it. He puts it down, he looks again, he moves it. The keeper already is kind of like, you know, and the goal is small. I mean, the goal is small enough when you think about it. The goalies are big guys, a lot of them. They're well over 6 foot. I mean, they're like cats, some of them. They're quick. The goal is small enough. You know what I mean? And the run up, the run back, the step back, it doesn't need to be too much. You don't need a massive run up. But place it, but a little bit of power, because the pro goalkeepers, they're actually, you know, and he's a little bit fast as well, because the pro goalkeepers are like cats. They are like, I mean, you need to put it in the corner, though, like out of their reach, that they can't actually. Yeah, Ronaldinho was good at that kind of thing. He was good at that. I mean, he used to put it right in the corner. They couldn't touch it. You know what I mean? They can forget about it. Messi as well. Decent. You know what I mean? Ronaldo, calmness personified. He was like, Ronaldo was calm.
Brilliant player. One of the best I've ever seen take penalties was Matt Letizia.
Letizia. Brilliant player.
I think he missed one. Or did he miss one? I think he might have missed one maybe, but he was phenomenal.
Yeah. But his close control and his technique, like from open play, I mean, it all points to the fact that he is going to be good as a penalty taker, because he's on first name terms with the ball. You know, he's close control and his technique. Like when he hits the ball, he knows how to, you know, he was brilliant technique, brilliant close control. I mean, brilliant technique. And that's what penalties is, right? It's technique. He was brilliant technician, fantastic player. My God, he was a handful. But he's unstoppable. That was the thing. All his goals, all his play. It don't matter what the defenders did and what the goalie did. He was just on that slalom run and the finish. Ask United. Remember when they said they couldn't see each other with the jerseys? Was it the blue one? And it was 6-3 at the Dell. And he was turning Steve Bruce, and Schmeichel was like, but the ball was arcing off him into the corner. Brilliant player, man. Him and Brozovic.
A little striker from, I think he was Eastern European as well. Marian Pajas.
Yeah. Latvian, I think. He was Latvian.
Yeah, he was immense for them as well.
Yeah.
Especially that.
You know who was good? Thomas Rosicky. When he did take one. Lethal.
Yeah, I always thought Rosicky, if you could have put Rosicky, Santi Cazorla and Alexander Kleb in the same team.
Oh, yeah. Kleb and Cazorla as well. Brilliant. Cazorla, you'd have an old soft spot for Cazorla, man. He was a Arsenal through and through, but the three of them were dynamite. Dynamite. They were so quick. It was unreal. Fabregas, I see he retired like a month ago, I think.
Yeah.
Awesome player. Fabregas, brilliant player. Now, when he retired, I was like, he had a good career, man. Yeah, he won a lot with Spain, I mean, he won a lot with Spain. Was it World Cup, European Championship? Yeah, he was in that era with Torres and them. Xavi and they were winning it all, man. Xavi and Iniesta. What was that forward they had as well? He was one of the lads. David Villa.
Well, he was brilliant. He was brilliant.
Yeah, but he's one of the lads, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
He was a cool guy, yeah. But they had a good team, man. Fabregas retiring. Man. I know he went to Chelsea, was it, after us, but good, or somewhere along the line, but we had good memories of him, man. He was a brilliant player, and he was cheeky. You know what I mean? He was actually cheeky against United and teams like that. He would actually be having it. You know what I mean? With whoever. He was given as good as he got when it came to he wasn't back. Cheeky.
I remember an Arsenal-Chelsea game when Ashley Cole come back to the Emirates in a Chelsea shirt, and Cess had it with him. And yeah, I didn't think that was someone that Cess would pick a fight with, but yeah, he was going in hammer and tong with him.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind going in with Cheryl Cole. Anyway, you say no more about it. What a beautiful woman, huh? Jesus. And then he did the dirt on her, was it? God, if Cheryl Cole, oh man, any man cheat on Cheryl Cole, I don't know. If she can't hold on to a man, there's not much to be said for the rest of them. Cheryl Cole, the perfect woman. I love that, the perfect woman. Yeah, Dave, whatever. You're like, yeah, what's he talking about? Well, she's a cracker. She's a cracker, man.
Yeah, but when these footballers have money, they don't realise what they got at home, you know what I mean?
Yeah. She was a winner by all round, straight up. No messing.
He's lost.
Exactly. Didn't she then go up with like one of her dance, the choreographer for the dance, or one of the instructors, wasn't it? Next minute then she was with that guy. Man.
Yeah.
She was alright, man. Gotta love Cheryl. All right, I'm going to wrap up the stream there, man. I want to thank you for coming on, yeah. I appreciate it. You made the stream, yeah, yourself and Tony. Your football knowledge is, I know I keep saying it, yeah, but your knowledge is, you're at a different kind of level, you know what I mean? I'll get there at some point, though. But you know a lot about the football, yeah. Like, I've improved, though, you know, because I kind of, yeah, you're always, like, linking stuff to me, but I've improved as well because I'm kind of paying more attention to what's actually happening. Like the transfer window thing, happened, you know, on Sky Sports. They have like the transfer ticker. That gets the ball rolling for me before I go on air. You know, I'm not feeding off that, but it just makes you aware of what's moving. You know what I mean? And then you're more in the groove. And with practice, you get more natural at it. You know, that's good. But thanks for coming on, man. Yeah, I appreciate it. And anytime, I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, sorry it was a bit of a slow one. I hope you enjoyed it. Yeah, but yourself and Tony, you get on well. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Tony's a really good guy, man. I enjoy it. It's different when you listen to someone at a club that has different ambitions to us, innit? So
yeah,
you kind of put yourself in. When I talk to Tony about West Ham, I put myself in a West Ham supporter shoes, and I honestly think Maguire would be good business for them. So and I also think McTominay would be brilliant. They can't just replace that.
I think Maguire is better than what he showed at United. Yeah, like he had some couple of gaffes. He played well against us the last time out, but
and I think James Ward-Prowse as well. When you think about it, adding McTominay and Maguire as well with a Prowse from dead balls, then they're a giant team in the air, and Prowse will get all day long. So, and Antonio will buy them free kicks. So I think that's brilliant business if they manage to get them free in. But yeah, great stream, man. I enjoy being on with you, Dave, man. It's brilliant.
Thanks, I appreciate it, man. Yeah. And yeah, like I said, I'm glad you liked it. At some point, maybe next year, who knows? Your own channel, maybe.
No,
you have
I think
knowledge, man. You have the football knowledge, but it's up to you.
Yeah. I've made that decision that I don't mind making guest appearances on here, and maybe if Tony wants
in your flash jersey.
But yeah, I'm
I
quite
understand.
happy.
That's cool. I
I'm
understand.
down the YouTube road for me personally. I might, like I said, I might with my son. I might do a gaming channel with him, and then upload
Yeah, why
some
not?
bits. And I'll send you footage from when we're at the Emirates. If I ever record with there, I'll send it over to you,
Yeah,
and
do man. I'd appreciate it.
feel free to pull it up.
All right, man. And I hope you're keeping well, yeah. And I hope you had a nice day, and I hope you have a good sleep and keep it real, eh?
Sunbathing today, so yeah, I'm gonna have a little siesta and set the alarm for the Arsenal game.
Are you going to watch it, eh? But what about work? Are you working then?
No, because I work with disabled kids, don't I? So
Yes.
now it's half term. I'm still being paid, but I'm off for the next 2 months. So yeah, I'm
Wow.
free.
Jesus, there are any vacancies, is there? Like to get paid and be off for 2 months. Jesus, Kushti, man. Kushti. Anyway, enjoy the game, yeah, and fingers crossed, fingers crossed for us like that. Just that the team is a bit more cohesive. You know, the result is by a bye. We just want to see a little bit of improvement in the team and a bit of, they're coming out of their shell a bit. But I'm sure that, like after what happened the last time, there's going to be a reaction. You know what I
Needs
mean?
to be that performance, reaction, and a good starting 11.
Here's hoping, man, that we can do something, yeah. And let's see how the guys get on, and hopefully they go from strength to strength, strength to strength. I mean, we made some good signings. We made some good signings, and like you said as well, though, the guys we got in January, that was a very good point. I think the best point of the stream: Jorginho, Trossard, and yeah, they're still coming to the fore. They haven't still. They're like 3 new signings as such, if you want to put it like that, because they haven't. They still have more to go. And now for them, they're going to have a run at the full season. So there's a lot to be hopeful for you. But Manchester City they remain just the dominant team that all teams have to kind of match. Like, no team in the league, in my opinion, is anywhere near them right now. I mean, regardless of signings, regardless of managers, regardless of Ten Hag, regardless of anything, they are a different proposition. Yeah, I mean, winning the Champions League, the beating that they gave Real Madrid at the Etihad, I actually liked that, though, not because Real Madrid lost, but because people realised what Arsenal were up against after that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
They weren't just either. They done it to Bayern.
They're some team, they're one hell of a team. Like, I mean, they
want
mashed Real Madrid.
but Bayern are phenomenal, and the way City, and they went to a complete different level that I don't think I've seen. I don't think I've seen that kind of level, that IQ on the pitch from every single
Yeah.
individual. It was just different kettles.
And they were unplayable. Like, they played the other team off the park. They played Real off the park. They couldn't get a sniff. And they got massacred. I mean, I remember the game. They couldn't get a sniff of the ball. And every Man City player was getting a touch. They were all taking a touch of the ball. It was like total football. They were just dominating it, and they weren't looking for they were incisive. They had the skill to cut inside, and Real were just the best team.
That's why when people say we bottled it, I don't care. You can have that opinion, but there's no shame losing the league to the treble winners. You know what I mean? There's no shame.
Yeah, they beat United in the final comfortably. They didn't play too well. They beat them comfortably. Gundogan. And then the Champions League final. I mean, yeah. A treble, a real treble.
Man City have weakened their squad, in my opinion. No Riyad Mahrez, no Gundogan. So, but they will replace. So let's see what business else, other business they do, and see how we go. You know what I mean? It's going to be a long.
I think they want Guardiola, right? They want Guardiola, the Croatian defender.
Yeah, I think they'll get that done eventually.
He's a beast.
They'll be good. They'll be good, Man City. We know this. They'll be good, regardless who they get and
fantastic
for what price.
Team. Fantastic team, and maybe the best is yet to come from Haaland. I mean, he's a monster.
Probably one of the signings of next season will be Kovacic. They've got him for so cheap, and he will go in and do it. Very experienced midfielder.
And that's
it could be Johnny Evans at Man United.
All right. Nice talking to you, man. Yeah, and take it easy. And thanks for coming on. I appreciate it, Joe.
Anytime, mate. Take it easy, brother.
I'm going to go straight on DH Gate. I'm going to do a Stapes. I'm going to do a Stapes. That's what we're calling it now. I'm going to do a Stapes. You know what I mean? All right. Take care of yourself, man, and have a good sleep.
You too, mate.
Take it easy. Yeah? See you later, man.